is 10 a.m.
This is Sports Radio 560 QAM. Sports Radio 560 WQAM Miami Fort Lauderdale presents the Neil Rogers Show. Talk to Neil. Call 567-0560 toll free for Dade and Broward or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group. Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
What I like about school, frat parties last all night. Don't know how we made it here, none of us can read or write. Yeah, when I get out I'll be an engineer, but right now my major is drinking beer, 'cause it's true. That's what I like about school. What I like about school, you learn a lot in class. I discovered my math professor is an infomaniac. Yeah, I'll be here for 4 more years. There's more beer there in the rear, yes it's true. That's what I like about school. That's what I like about school. That's what I like about school. Yeah.
I'm just checking it out. 10:02 at 560 WQM. Happy Monday to you. Hey, listen, when in doubt, check it out. You know what I'm saying? Right. So what is it going to be? The Ramseys or the Beach Boys for the rest of the miniseries? Got to be Sweeps Week, isn't it? That the networks are frantically putting this crap, man, oh man, I mean crap. Did you see either one last night?
Not last night. I saw Ramsey's thing earlier in the weekend.
I thought that was like a condom. Well, you mean this is like more of the same? I thought this was the first episode last night.
Oh, I don't know.
Not that it makes a difference. What?
Why can't I hear you today?
I don't know. How's that?
Is that better? There you go.
Oh, okay.
Do the whole show that way.
Okay. Why the hell not? So how the hell are you? No, seriously. This was the first, I believe. And then on the ABC, they got the Bleach Boys. I mean, cheesy acting. And the Ramsey thing, I mean, are we going to learn anything new on that?
No.
No. Well, what's the point?
I was watching some news thing.
Oh, and guess who the producer of this miniseries is on CBS? Lawrence Schiller, the one that wrote the book, the 7,000-page book out of Ramsey's, in which he said absolutely nothing. Yeah, him, who also wrote an OJ book. I'm going to tell you, if you meet anybody that didn't write an OJ book, and they got to be down and out. Everybody I know wrote an OJ book. Even, I think,
Roy!
He's working on one right now in a book, too. Yeah, they're really desperate, boys and girls. Okay, here's how our poll came out. Wait a minute. One moment, please. Yeah, here's how the final came out. I should realize that Eric always waits till, oh, look at that. We got 12 more votes between the time I left the house. And let's see, we're even, one fag. It's kind of interesting, though, when we started this thing on Friday, during the course of the show, the number of homosexuals was considerably higher, and then maybe they changed their mind over the weekend. You think that might be it?
No.
Yeah, maybe with the new opening of a back door, whatever that place is. Do you consider yourself exclusively heterosexual, exclusively homosexual, not sure, or bisexual? We had 512 votes. Not too bad. Not too good. I would have thought over the weekend we could have got 1,000. I think basically it boils down to about the same 350, 400 people that we have voting on the website, neilrogers.com, which is okay because that's a pretty good sample. And you know our intellectual crowd. Yeah. Exclusively heterosexual, 416, 81.2%. Hallelujah. Thank God. Oh. Thank God that we have this macho audience out there. Oh, I feel so much better now. Exclusively homosexual, 38, 7.4%, which is about half of what it was running during the course of the show on Friday. Like I said, maybe they changed their mind. Or maybe they got the cure over there in Brandon. That's possible, yeah. Maybe they got cured. 35, now this is interesting, almost as many not sure as homosexual. 35, 6.8%. And you laughed. You have little faith when I put that category in there, not sure.
Not because I didn't think that people like that were out there.
Yeah.
But it's still very funny that there are people like that out
It's very funny. I don't think the word is
It's
funny.
yeah.
It's sad. I think it's sad. It's not rocket science we're talking about. And by the way, that cream they were talking about at the end of the morning show there, that ED cream, how long do you have to rub that on? Anyway, not sure, 35, 6.8%. Bisexual, 23, 4.4%. So if you take the exclusively homosexual and bisexual, that's like 11.8%. Which I've always thought it was like 10 to 15%, in spite of the fact that the right wing, you notice how the gay population of America has been reduced to like 3% now, according to the right wing ultra fanatics? Because they can manage handling that 3. If they admit that it's like 10 to 15%, then it gets out of control.
Well, you might as well lump the not sure in there also.
That would be like, well, I mean, there's a percentage of those that maybe it would break down along the same, I don't know. Does anybody know?
No.
I mean, if they don't know, how do we know? And keep in mind, because we're doing this anonymously on our website, we don't have any idea what the age is. They might be people who are very young or people who are very, very, old. Speaking of that, now before I get to that, I got stuff today, baby. Woo! Heavy duty. Yeah, my whole life has taken a major turnaround since Saturday. Yeah. I've finally seen the light. I'm not going to waste any more of my time trying to wake the dead. 24 years. Day after tomorrow will be 24 years I've been trying to wake the dead here. And now after Saturday, I will no longer waste my time doing that. Because now I understand that is our middle name. But anyway, today's poll question on our website, neilrogers.com. Let's see, how did I word this? Do you agree with the not guilty verdict of the 4 New York cops? Now, we don't have to mention the name and this, because they know what the case that was decided in the Bronx. With a totally unacceptable verdict, by the way, and we'll talk about that today. Maybe somebody here actually has an opinion on that, because there was only 41 shots. Yeah, I mean, how the hell could you find them guilty? And this stuff that you see on television, see, they don't get enough target practice. That's the problem. If they would have just shot what they thought was the gun, which turned out to be a wallet, if they would have just shot there out of his hand, then he'd probably still be alive today. We wouldn't have all this crap going on, and we couldn't be taking our pool today. But they don't do that.
You're watching too much Gunsmoke, I think.
Yeah, too much smoke. Anyway, that's our poll question. Do you agree with the not guilty verdict of the 4 New York City cops? Yes or no? Very simple question for very simple people. How do you like that? See, they don't like it when we get too personal with this stuff about, are you a pedophile? Have you ever molested an altar boy? Things like that. So anyway, I better do the break, because once I get started on our experience on Saturday, it may go on for a while. May go on for quite a while. How's line 4 doing, by the way? Duff has warned us already. Oh, there you go. It's not a problem in line 4 this morning. He was right. Although he actually did get it disconnected from the other thing in there. And you'll be pleased to know that the new phone system is on the way from San Jose, literally. Is it here yet? No, but it's on the way. That's the warning we're getting. And of course, when it gets here, oh, come on, that's no fun when that thing disconnects. So we actually did get it so that it's disconnected, but when you put it on the air, it's got a little bit of a problem. You hear that? Can you hear me now, George? How about now? 9 minutes after 10 at 560 WQAM.
No portion of this broadcast may be reproduced without the express written permission of WQAM Beasley Reed Acquisition Corp.
I don't have a clue.
Tonight on VH1 Storytellers, it's a very special evening with Christina Aguilera.
Like, I got the idea, for this song. One day when my manager told me, I had to sing it.
Get the story behind the music from the woman, the lady, the adolescent who conquered the pop music world with her own unique style.
I got the idea for this song from Britney Spears. Then I told my record company, and they had a guy write it for me and stuff.
Christina Aguilera on VH1 Storytellers.
I think a big turning point for me musically, was when I finally realized, I needed breast implants.
When they write the pop music history books, they'll file Christina Aguilera under A.
They will? Oh, cool.
Christina Aguilera tonight on VH1 Storytellers, the show where people who have nothing to say the stuff.
So how about that, Christina, huh?
I just can't stand that stuff.
10:14 at 560 WQM. Happy Monday to you. We got a big Panther-Buffalo game tonight. Are the Panthers going to show up tonight?
No.
We don't know. They haven't been showing up too much. And by the way, the monks, they're M3. I noticed they've scaled that thing down almost to the point where it's completely disappeared. The bell, I don't mind, although they're not ringing it very much because they don't score very many goals. The bell with the one monk over there we can handle. But that music, Panthers rock, Panthers rock, and that whole deal, man, those monks.
They stunk.
Yeah, that's what everybody in town. I even asked Rimmer the other night. Last night he calls me. I said, how'd the monks do on Saturday?
They stunk.
He kept saying that over and over again. How about the Panthers?
They stunk.
Yeah, that too. But we got a big game against Buffalo tonight. And, you know, look on the bright side. As bad as this team is playing with no defense whatsoever, and if the goalie, whoever plays that night, doesn't stand on their head, they get blown out. But they've been standing on their head anyway. But look at that. 3 games, they get 4 points. 2 ties and a win. It's a freaking miracle. I mean, 2 regulation ties anyway. Anyway, getting back to Saturday. I just want to make an announcement now, and it comes very propitiously 2 days before my 24th anniversary on the air in Miami. Saturday was my last public appearance ever.
Oh!
Yes.
But Neil.
No chance.
But what if we...
They got enough of those stupid, dumb picture cards, okay? And by the way, no, we don't have any hockey tickets. Now, there were some nice people that came by there Saturday. I certainly don't want to disparage everybody who came by, including the one young couple that George kept very far away from me, the ones who go to the swing club that he kept way away from me.
That wasn't by design.
Yeah, right. Sure. Do I believe that?
No.
Kept pushing them farther and farther, like toward the valley.
Pushing them away from you.
But at any rate, they actually signed a picture. What?
You wouldn't like that guy anyway.
Why not?
He was mediocre looking.
He was okay.
Not as good looking as his wife.
They were both okay. In fact, I wouldn't mind watching them. Anyway, he knows them from the swing club, George. Anybody George knows, he knows them from the swing club. Just keep that in mind. Oh yeah, they hang out, so to speak. And by the way, I'm gonna wind up going all over the place here. I hate to do this, but I was thinking about that when I was thinking about them, and I did think about them briefly because they were the only people under the age of 300 who showed up at all. By the way, hey Miguel, Will. Oh, this experience Saturday, you have to have been there to believe it. But at any rate, I was thinking about people. It's like our good, close, personal friend. I almost said your friend. It's still mine, Joe Costello. I mean, why should he be surprised? See, I don't understand. I understand people that go to a swing club to swing. You know what I'm talking about? To participate with other people. I guess there must be those people who are not swingers. They're just exhibitionists, which is okay. There are voyeurs. And, of course, if they're voyeurs, there have to be exhibitionists because if you want to look, there's got to be somebody to show you something to look at. But don't tell me you're a swinger and then go there and, do all your stuff in front of everybody else and then complain that somebody is looking or swinging their in your face. You know what I'm saying, Joe? No, seriously, I mean, Joe is an adult. He's got plenty of places he could go with his lovely fiancée, and they could do whatever they want, and I'm sure they do very often, especially on the days when he shaves his nuts. But, I mean, but don't go to a place like that and then complain that some old troll, some old fag is swinging his in your face, okay? I don't understand that. I don't get it.
It was just too close for comfort.
For comfort, yeah. Well, it all depends on whose comfort we're talking about. And like I said, how many drops do you have to put onto that lotion and, how long do you have to rub it? Didn't you hear that spot at the end of their show this morning, that ED?
No.
I think we're regressing here at QM. When I first came here, the only spots we had on the air were for the parimutuels and limp penises is all it was. And now I think we're regressing. Or maybe it's that Bob Dole ED spot. Maybe that's what put him over the edge. And by the way, Peter, we're not taking you with us, okay? We want to wish the best of luck to Peter Leonard, who's leaving us to go sell for the coast. Wish him the best of luck with Cox Broadcasting, and believe me, he'll need it, selling that slush, selling that Michael Bolton, Gloria Estefan crap. And let me also mention, since I'm digressing from my appointed rounds, because I'm trying to think of how to be diplomatic in presenting this conversation, Dan LeBastard, another, who just they had a thing in the Herald over the weekend. Hey, we won these awards. Dan LeBastard got an award. Yeah, an award for stupidity. You, sir, are a moron. Have you read any of his columns lately?
They stunk.
Oh, and the one this morning. Talk about trying to rationalize away scumbags. Sports superstars discover reality hard to come by. How can they be so strong when they put on the armor and so weak when they take it off? And the whole thing is really a defense, a rationalization for all the scumbags in sports. And he says at the end, the surprise, frankly, isn't that so many of our athletes feel entitled. The surprise is that some of them don't. Oh, give me a break, okay? You jockstrap liquor, you phony baloney, professional spick. Get out of my face. Go away, Dan LeBastard, you. And by the way, don't ever use that studio again while we're on the air. We're having enough phone problems as it is. How's line 4 coming along? I bet it's making a big comeback. Let's hear it. Huh? The audience loves this sound, by the way. I bet you we just left this on from now until the end of the book. It's 22 shares. Yeah. So anyway, I think that the poll we took on Friday over the weekend is pretty revealing. Like that asshole that called me a couple of months ago. Well, you got a lot of people listening who are light and the loafers. You really don't have that big of an audience. These ratings you've had over the years, it's from all those. What he's really trying to say is it's all those fags who listen because, you know, they want to hear another fag on a radio. That certainly doesn't appear to be the case, does it?
No.
No. And we did have we had sampling, a smattering on Saturday, believe me, at that appearance we had. If you wonder what I'm talking about today, Seminole Indian Casino of Hollywood, our good close personal sales hole friend Brian there, he said, oh, yeah, say whatever you want. They'll like the publicity. I mean, and I appreciate them having us there. I'm really not sure why we were there. Do you know why we were there besides for me to make some money and kill a couple of hours?
No, that was it.
Yeah.
Get some onion rings.
Just like the same reason we show up here every day, to make some money and kill 4 hours, which we do a great job of for the audience. That's what everybody tells me. Oh, man, it's great. It makes those 4 hours go by, kills 4 hours of my otherwise boring terminal life here in this godforsaken, very geriatric, wheelchair-ridden town. Speaking of wheelchairs, by the way, getting back to our thing. Now, maybe it was just the time of the day that we were there. It was the middle of the day on a Saturday. You would assume that most living and breathing people, middle of the day on Saturday, they're doing something. And like maybe at night, in the evening. Do you follow what I'm saying? That there would be a few people under the age of 200. And please don't get me wrong, because there were some very nice people there. There are some nice old people. Not too many, but there are some nice old people. There were some. But if I were to say to you that the crowd there was old, that would be the greatest understatement in the history of the human race. And you know something? I hate to say this. Thank God for the guy with the fanny pack that came by. Usually when I see him, I want to upchuck. But actually, he killed about the last 45 minutes. Because when you go on these appearances, if there's any kind of a turnout at all, 2 hours goes by like that. We used to do 3 and 4 hours. Remember those horrible days? Too long.
Can you imagine him and Peter Leonard together?
Oh, what a match made in purgatory. I'd love to see it. But at any rate, he came by and killed, because every minute was like an hour. Every minute was like a lifetime, like eons. Just incredible. And you go into a place where there's all this gambling going on, but like I said, if you have a weak heart, something like that, it's not like at the Panther games that when they did that thing last week with the fireworks where you nearly have a heart attack. You don't have to worry about any sudden outburst or noise because there isn't any. Is there any music?
No.
Are there bells ringing?
No.
Are there people, hey, all right?
No.
No. They're just sitting around very quietly. I mean, even, I was going to say like cuckoo's nest, but they weren't quiet. You know, there was nobody going, I want my cigarette. There was nobody doing that.
And they had music. They had Mantovani.
They did?
Yeah, that's what Nurse Ratched kept playing.
Oh, and you mean in Cuckoo's Nest? Yes,
Yeah.
They did have in the background. That's right. They had Mantovani. No, there's no music when we were there. I think they probably didn't want to disturb any of these people, maybe wake some of them up. After you die. What? No, seriously, after you die, this is where you go. I mean, I have never, and I don't want to sound unsympathetic. I don't want to sound crass and cruel, unless you feel that way, which is okay. There were more people there in wheelchairs, walkers, canes, neck braces. It was like the old and the infirm. I have never seen anything. Now, maybe this was just for my benefit. Maybe this was a put on. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't imagine, having lived here for almost 25 years now, I can't imagine that there's all those old people, especially in Hollywood.
Boy!
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was unbelievable. It was shocking to me. And at that point, I said to myself, what in God's name am I doing here? I don't mean in the casino. And they were, like I said, I appreciate them having me there. Appreciate them even wanting me to come out. But I said, what am I doing here? I mean, this is a place. And Boca Brian made some comment about the bathrooms. I said, there are no bathrooms. Here it's like BYOB, bring your own bag, and or diapers as the case may be. I mean, the crowd was just a little bit on the old and quiet side. Death plus 10. And I'm saying, and I'm thinking to myself, why do I do these things? What's the point? What was the hook to bring people out there? And then poor Miguel, who by far was the youngest person in the joint. And there, let me say it again. I saw some of you fags out there trolling, okay? Stay the hell away. He ain't interested. But he's sitting there with the QAM wheel. And what are we giving away? Those big, fancy prizes that only QAM could give away. QAM caps, baby.
Don't forget plastic cups and mouse pads.
Plastic cups and mouse pads.
Yeah. That don't say QAM on them. That somebody else gave.
Yeah, right. That somebody else dropped off here by mistake one day. They shipped it to the building and we intercepted the shipment. And these people are coming up spinning the wheel. Okay. And they're coming back over and over again. How many times do you get to spin it? And then when Miguel would step away from the wheel for like 30 seconds, which would happen very rarely, I noticed, because I sat there staring at him the whole 2 hours. Well, you might as well enjoy it somehow. But at any rate, he'd step away for 30 seconds, and then somebody purposely would come wandering over or wheeling over, as the case, but wheel, to get him back to spin the wheel again, so they might win a QM cap or one of those great mouse pads. Wheel! Shocking. Absolutely. And by the way, a couple of our listeners came by and said they had called the place. Nobody there had any, just like your appearances at, what is it that you go to?
Primeco.
At Primeco. Just like when George does his appearances at Primeco. It was kind of like the same thing. Nobody there had any idea that I was going to be there that day, or George, or Boca Brian, or Miguel, or anybody else. Nobody. Well, we don't want to shock anybody, you know what I'm saying? Sudden shock in that place would not be a good idea. A sudden loud noise like that would not be a good idea in that place. Lose a whole lot of folks all at the same time. I mean, what's the point of going out and how many picture cards could anybody possibly have at this point? You know, those stupid picture cards. I could understand if we're giving away a car, we're giving away even hockey tickets. I had several people. Are you giving away hockey tickets?
No.
No, get out of here. They have no hockey tickets, including that one schnorr that's always hitting on me at the hockey games for free tickets. Got any extra tickets? He was there. That's probably why he showed up there. He was waiting for extra hockey tickets, just like the ones we're giving away on the air today. For tonight's Buffalo game, I see 5,000 unsold tickets for tonight's game, probably because of that performance by the team.
They stunk.
And the Monks.
They stunk.
26 after 10 at 560 WQN.
Oh, God, Neil.
Jane Fonda say goodbye to Ted Turner. Pack your bags, don't let the door hit you in the ass. No longer he will ever be your Ted Turner. He don't wanna be your fella. He's had it with your scams. No longer Barbarella. Why don't you just go back to Vietnam? You spent 8 years with Ted Turner. Now it's time to kick your new breasts. He bought them, that's not fair. No longer he will ever be your Ted Turner.
Okay, that's our musical poll question today, by the way. The Beach Boys better than the Ramseys. 1031 at 560 QM. Speaking of music, by the way, here's a fact. You want to get really depressed? Oldies 104.3 WOMC's Dick Purton Radiothon, benefiting the Salvation Army and Bed and Bread Club, raises a record-breaking $726,384. How do you like that? Say, how long is it? A 16-hour? I forget where the hell it is. At any rate, they do a radiothon, and they raised almost $750,000 for the homeless. Basically, is what it boils down to. Just like we used to raise money for Camilla's house here. We ever raise anything close to that?
No.
No. You can, here, you have to forget about raising money. It's like trying to raise the dead. So this, the timing is perfect. Thank you, Fred Wolf Jr., for faxing this to me, by the way. Ties right in. So next time you wonder why there's nobody at the Heat games, the Panther games, at anywhere you go where they're living and breathing people, look around you. What have you got to draw from here? Most of the people here are dead or very close to it on either side of the line. Either side. Just almost or just over the line. And nobody told them yet. And Saturday was a tremendous reminder to me of what this town is all about. That's why, to think. And I don't want to sound ungrateful because a lot of people over the years have come out to our appearances, especially the things where we've done fundraisers and had the CDs and stuff, and I appreciate that. I wouldn't drive 5 minutes from here to anywhere to go see some radio schmuck. I wouldn't do it. So I do appreciate that. But enough is enough. It's the law of diminishing return at this point. I think everybody in this town, even people who don't listen to the show, have got at least 10 of those Neil Rogers picture cards. And, it's been fine and fun, and Saturday was like a message. Okay, that's it, baby. No more of these. Here's a call in Boynton Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Adios, Neil. Good morning. And you know what I want to talk about?
What is that, sir?
You know, there's nothing wrong with getting old, you know. I've been here all my life, and I'm a pretty young, good-looking man. And I think there's a big industry here that is trying to keep us looking young or acting young or feeling young, and it's just totally robbing our souls. And
so what are you talking about?
You know, and there's nothing wrong with getting old, you know. Just I've lived here all my life, and I would like to find another place to go. But I tell you, I make good money doing what I do.
So
making old people feel
everybody
young.
gets old. There's a difference between getting old and a difference between an area that's overrun with old, festering people who are ready to die.
But there's nothing we can do about it.
There has to be a balance.
Yes, that's true. And I tell you, the youth of today, we have a big challenge today.
And what is that? What is the challenge?
To try to integrate the old people with the young people to, you know, try to get everybody to
Well, let me ask you, what kind of drugs have you been doing over the weekend? Sir? Because whatever it was, we'd like to share, okay?
I know you would.
Send us some down, okay? And have a great life.
Thanks.
And butch up. Oh, boy, that was it. Yeah, we got a real challenge here, us young people, us young whippersnappers like me. And believe me, I have never felt more like a teenager again than I did on Saturday. Felt like a child.
Spring chicken by
Right, exactly. Every city you'll go to, there are some old people, but we have a preponderance of people over the age of 150. Methuselah would be embarrassed to come to this town. Name all the different bedroom towns: Hollywood, Surfside, Sunrise, Tamarack, one after the other, where the median age is death plus 100. In Miami Beach, if you take away South Beach, those 3 blocks of drug addicts, if you take that away, it's still the median age there is death. All those big towers there on Collins Ave. Oh, no, all the young people moved in there. The people are 85. So I'm sure that we're going to hear from some cop defenders today defending these 4 scumbag cops in New York. It's really, and then of course, what do you got? You got the cops on the one side, Al Sharpton on the other side. Where does that leave reasonable people? I think you basically you got Rudy Giuliani on the one side and Al Sharpton on the other. There's a paragraph in the story here that really gets me. It says the shooting combined with the 1997 torture of Haitian immigrant Abner Louima in a police station bathroom. That was the one that they did with a broom handle. Led to criticism that New York City police were being excessive in cracking down on crime under the administration of Mayor Rudy Giuliani. You know Mayor Rudy Giuliani, the one that never met a Nazi that he didn't like? Police state, baby. Police state. It wasn't just crack down on pornography in Times Square and close down the strip joints. It was get all the hot dog vendors off the street. It's go arrest the homeless, go arrest everybody we can. And if somebody looks dangerous, blow their brains out. After you frisk them, then let's blow their brains out. 41 shots. And they hit him with only 19, which, like I said before, definitely need target practice. If we learn nothing else from this case in New York, it's that the New York City cops need a lot more target practice. 41 shots at an unarmed man standing in a doorway who happens to be the wrong guy, wasn't a serial rapist, never stole a freight train, and it was a wallet. And the jury says, and they had the option of convicting them of lesser charges. It could have been less than second-degree murder. It could have been a whole bunch of different things. And they said, oh, no, not guilty on all counts, on all 85 counts. I just can't wait. And I saw a poll on the Roadrunner thing on the internet before I was checking our own poll on neilrogers.com, and it was like even Steven. I couldn't believe it. Even Steven. Maybe all the cops are voting on that thing. Must be what it is. And I'm sure we'll find somebody today who'll say, well, you know, you're anti-cop, that's why you're against those things. 41 shots into the body of an unarmed man. Some of which, by the way, after he was already down, of course. Which was part of the testimony. Did that faze the jury?
No.
In Albany, New York?
No.
No. Police state. I mean, America loves a police state. That would be a great new show. On Fox, no doubt. America enjoys being in a police state. Too much freedom is a dangerous thing. Enough to make me vomit. Enough to make you puke. But like I said, are we going to change any of this?
No.
No, because the people are not concerned about that. They're concerned about the Ramseys and the Beach Boys and which one can sing better. Now, I do want to say one thing about John Ramsey, because he has taken a lot of crap, okay, for a lot of the... But one thing about John Ramsey...
He can't sing for shit.
22 before 11 at 560 WQAM.
When it comes to sports radio, he wrote the book, Goldberg.
I heard an interview the other night with Peter Gammon with Jim Bowden.
Yes.
Bowden says, for ESPN, this is Jim Bowden. So for the Hammer, this is WQAM.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Anybody have a heart or a liver?
Tonight on VH1 Behind the Music, while MTV is wasting your time with the real world, road rules, and rock and jock football, VH1 remembers the music. Tonight at 8, it's RuPaul Unplugged, followed by Storytellers present The Village People. Then it's the Partridge Family Behind the Music and a 2-hour Brady Bunch documentary. That's tonight, right after Hard Rock Live featuring the Captain and Tennille, only on VH1. Yesterday's crappy music today.
Amen. It's 10:43 at 560. So what do you think? The Ramseys or the Beach Boys? Come on. I just want to say one other thing about this Marty McSorley episode, since everybody and their brother, including people that don't even know what a hockey puck is, are talking about that. And I saw Ray Whitney's comments. And interesting, Mike Russo and David J. Neal both write the same thing again in yesterday's paper, verbatim. Same interview, the same player, same comment, but nevertheless. And Ray's got a good point. That is that every time something negative comes along, ESPN, which gives us positive things about hockey, almost no coverage at all, even though they broadcast the games, and even though their parent company, ABC, spent a lot of money to get the rights to the games, and that's a good point. But a lot of other people have also pointed out that hockey is the only sport in the world where fighting is permitted and even encouraged. So violence, unfortunately, is an integrated part of the sport, which in no way, of course, condones what McSorley did, because it was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. And outside of the hockey rink, that would have been considered attempted murder. But nevertheless. And in America, forget about Canada, because it's a Canadian sport. If there was never any fighting, even though some people would grumble about it, like Don Cherry, nevertheless, hockey would still be strong and well. Forget about the financial aspect, but as far as the public interest. But can you imagine, especially here, where the fan favorite is big number 8, Peter Worrell? Can you begin to imagine if they banned fighting in the NHL, how many people we'd have here, where we already can't fill up the goddamn seats? Any other sport, you think about it. Any other sport, somebody gets into a fight, they get kicked out of the game and maybe suspended. Hockey, they get into a fight, and the crowd is up and they're cheering, and they're foaming at the mouth. And they go to the penalty box for 5 minutes, and then the crowd can't wait for the two guys to come back out and do it over again. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami.
Good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
I really can't believe how anybody can possibly defend the conduct of these New York police officers, for lack of a better name. Like you said, they shot 41, 42 shots, and they hit this guy 19. I think any other citizen or anybody else in the same situation would have to have seen the gun. This man goes in his back pocket to pull out his wallet because, first of all, there's a language barrier. And when he comes up with the wallet, or when he starts to come up with the wallet, they start shooting him. I believe it was basically an attempted. They wanted to kill the guy. There's no doubt. I mean, they didn't want to stop him, or they didn't want to subdue the individual. They just basically wanted to shoot him dead. If they didn't, I can see them shooting him once or twice, but 19 times.
Yeah. And how come they weren't trying to shoot what they thought was the gun out of his hand?
Well, that's a little difficult in a tense situation. I really do need.
It is?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And
I
really believe
4 cops.
Well, I also believe that you have a situation where these guys.
I mean, they were shooting to kill this guy.
Exactly. There's no doubt. Also, I believe that what they did out of just being totally frightened. I mean, they were very scared themselves. I mean, just because there were 4 police officers at the door, they were very afraid of the situation, the surrounding area, etc. When they shot.
They were very afraid of the surrounding area. That's their job.
True. but they were afraid nonetheless.
Then
cops,
what were they, then
cops don't ever admit to the fact that they're afraid, but they are afraid.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect example of them being so frightened to the fact that they overreacted.
Well, maybe they overreact to me is an understatement.
Absolutely.
Overreact. They went bananas. They went ballistic, if you pardon that expression. Okay, and have a great day. They were scared. They were terrified because this one guy was going to kill him with his wallet. Now, I will say this. Years ago, back during those days of Mariel Boatlift, I had 2 handguns that I got, and one of them was a handgun it was a wallet handgun. Have you ever seen those?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Then you can pull it out of your back pocket, and guess what? It is a gun. But did the guy have that?
No.
No. Police state. Did you see the thing? What the hell, where was it on? Maybe MSNBC about the guy, he's a opera singer or in some kind of a Broadway play. Whatever the hell this guy does. Black guy in the wrong place at the wrong time. This was in L.A. See, L.A. and New York, these are 2 great ones. This stuff happens all the time. And there was a report that there were 4 drug peddlers, young Hispanics, 17 to 21. This guy's like 35 years old. Doesn't look anything like 17 to 21. And he's, I guess Hispanics, of course, could be black, but in this case he was dark. And they come in and they handcuffed him and they frisked him and they yanked his ass off to jail. This is a police state, baby. A police state. Here's a call in Wilton Manors. Hello.
Wilton Manors.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay.
How do you think about the New York Police Department situation with that guy who shot 42 times?
Are you listening to the show?
Yes.
And you wonder what I think about it?
Yeah.
Well, you're not hearing what I'm saying then, right?
You don't like the situation?
I don't like the situation? What does that mean?
How about those Panthers, Neil?
Uh-huh. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Another moron. You know, I can't tell you how many people come up to me at the hockey games and they say to me, what are you doing here? We feel so sorry for the fact that you come on here every day, you're entertaining, we love your show, you're brilliant, this and that, yada, and then this is what you get. This is the response. Only in this town with dead people and illegal aliens. And what am I getting upset about? I've been doing it for 24 years. Here's another asshole with absolutely nothing to say. Nothing. Probably a Wilton Manors cop, if you ask me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This is the only place in America where there's any kind of a talk show with this story going on. I mean, forget about anything else that might be going on here. Where you'd have to go through like a mini snit again to get a response. Day after day after day, 5 days a week, 47, 48 weeks a year, whatever the hell it's been. To try to have somebody with some coherent thought on anything in the world. We got more morons per square inch than any place in the universe. That's another one. Put on our goddamn resume, baby. Oh! More assholes per square inch than any place you can throw at us. We got you licked. Here's Boca. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing today?
Great.
Neil, I got a appalling story for you. First of all, that guy was a moron.
No kidding.
What do you think of it? Listen to the show, fag. Anyway, Neil, I've just come from Sears. I'm going in an hour late for work to get these tickets. Somebody told me you get these tickets for $14 for the game. So I said, all right, I'll be a schlepper and go down and get 3 tickets and take my buddy. I go down there and there's a sign at Searstown. You know where Searstown is on Sunrise Boulevard?
Uh-huh.
And the Ticketmaster says, Ticketmaster closed. You got 20 people in line just sitting there. So I forged my way up to the front and I asked the lady, why are you closed? She's doing, I guess they do the telephone bills in there as well. She goes, the person from Ticketmaster didn't show up for today. So you got all these schleppers there sitting.
Well, why would you want them to show up today just because we have a game tonight?
Right. So I say to the lady, I said, well, what's going on? Is there going to be somebody that's going to come in and punch these tickets? You know, and you could, I would have paid for the regular tickets. I just wanted to get to the front and get the tickets. And you could tell these people got exact change on the line for the 2 Panther packs, the 3 Panther packs. So he goes, no, we're closed. And I said, well, I'd like to speak to the manager, being that I'm in the hospitality business. I just couldn't see that happening. So the manager comes down and she says, I'm sorry, we have nobody that's capable here to work the thing, and we have nobody that's here with a code to get into the computer. And I said, well, that's unacceptable. I said, if somebody doesn't show up at a business, you just close the business? Well, we're not responsible for Ticketmaster, guys. She's telling me we only get $1.75 from it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, that's
in other words, they don't give a crap.
So then finally, now I'm on the phone with Ticketmaster trying to get tickets another way, who I can't get through to anyway because they're morons over there at Ticketmaster. And then we want to know why people don't show up to these games. So finally, the manager, the store manager, she called herself the general manager, comes down. She tells this lady that we had been talking to go on the computer and sell the tickets. So now it's 10:45 now. So finally, she logs on and gets on the computer, and she goes, "I'm sorry, we're all out of Panthers pack seats." It's just crazy, Neil. It's crazy how...
I think you needed some assistance from New York City police.
It's, 41 times in the back of the head.
That's what I think you needed.
It's crazy how people treat businesses run down here.
Right.
And then they want to know why they don't profit.
Sir, there's one word that sums up this entire area, schlock. Schlock.
Neil,
the way business is done here, the way everything is done. Schlock. Promotion, schlock.
It's terrible. So I was sucking around for the tickets.
I beg your pardon?
So I was going to suck around for the tickets.
Suck around for what tickets?
For some Panther tickets.
From who?
From yourself. To help a brother out for the night's game.
And where would I get those?
Oh, you got connections, Neil. You're the man of the tent. You're the man of the tent.
After all of this crap that I just let you spew on here, this terminal, unbelievable, boring crap that I just listened to, and after you telling me that the guy before me was a moron and a bozo, which he was, and now the whole purpose of this is to suck around for tickets that I don't have?
You always have them.
Yeah, I have mine, and I'm not giving you my tickets.
I'll trade you. I'll give you some tickets to go to the Pompano Harness tonight.
Yeah, okay, great. I sure miss those old people from Saturday. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Come on, doesn't anybody want these Panther tickets? Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, hi.
Yes,
Neil?
sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Can you hear me, sir?
Oh, I can hear you so clear. It's unbelievable. I love your show because it's controversial.
Sure.
And you bring up a lot of emotion in me. I've been down here about 4 or 5 months, and I
enjoy
it. I enjoy it, but I got an action with you.
You enjoy what?
I enjoy your show because you bring out all my emotions, okay?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't say crap again, sir. I had to dump that. Please, we're on the radio.
I didn't hear it. What did he say?
You didn't hear what?
Whatever you dumped, I missed it. I wasn't paying attention. Shoot. What section are you in at the hockey game? I know you've said it 25 times.
You know what just happened here? Look at that. Okay, if you notice, and it goes to show I must be getting old and slow. This guy disappeared just like he never existed, and line 8 came on by itself.
Excellent segue, by the way.
Yeah, and it sounded like the guy had found the fountain of youth. He just lost 20 years on his age all of a sudden, or 30 years, or maybe 100. Did you think it was 100?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all of a sudden the guy got younger. This phone system is not only unacceptable, it's a piece of crap. It's still doing the same funky, unacceptable things that it's been doing for 2 years now. Downstairs, upstairs, inside, outside. That was in the history of your life. I don't think anybody has ever heard that before on a radio show, in the bathroom, in their closet. Just go from the middle of a word from one guy, and all of a sudden here's another guy comes on from the hell out of nowhere on this line 8, on the magic line that just pops on whenever it's in the mood. How do you like that? Yeah, it's the Viagra line. It just kind of like pops up whenever it feels like it. Oh, these people, this company, this Greg Reed, this place. But the good news is the new system's on the way. It's in the mail. Go to jail. 10:56 at 560 WQA.
It's Stammer time. Yes, get down with the man who put the disc in dysfunctional. MC Stammer. It's the album that sputtered its way to the top of the chart. Please, Hammer, don't hurt yourself.
excited. Bam!
You guessed unable to touch this. Have you viewed her and the Stammer's latest smash? You've got to. But critics agree about MC Stammer. Billboard says, spit it out. MTV says, that's easy for you to say. And Ebony says, say what, homie? Oh, the hell with it. Please, Hammer, don't hurt yourself. Available everywhere on CDs, records, and tapes.
Okay, 11:02 at 560 WQM. We got Hank Goldberg at Chula's at 2, Geldy on game night at 6. Panthers and the Buffalo Sabres, two really struggling teams. Pregame at 7, 7:30 at the Macarena. Eddie K after the game. Got that so far?
Uh-huh.
Good. Yeah, I got some Panther tickets. Here's a mobile in North Miami Beach. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Neil. Hi. What can you expect from a town? I'm driving right now, and the person in front of me has a bumper sticker that says, "My boss is a Jewish carpenter."
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, so what can you expect from that?
Right.
Okay, and please don't leave us, okay? I disagree with about 80% of the things you say. However, I
How
realize
could anybody disagree with anything that I say, but nevertheless.
You're right. Okay, the bad thing about the cops shooting this guy
Besides
is
the fact that he's dead, yeah.
Yeah, no, it brings up people like Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, who has the balls to go and talk at a Jewish
Jewish joint in Miami Town, yeah.
Yeah, really. I mean, I'm a Hispanic, okay, but I know what Jesse Jackson thinks of Jews and for that matter, for Hispanics also. That's what the bad part about this thing is. Of course, in all seriousness, the fact that the guy should have never been, shot 41 times.
And then Jesse comes down here and starts a thing about this FHP thing, which we all know about that, about the grotesque, but if the victims would have been two white brothers instead of two black brothers, would Jesse Jackson have been down here screaming about did I say FHP, the FBI? Would he have been down here screaming about it?
No.
No.
Well, the last job Jesse Jackson ever had.
Just like the students up there in Illinois that he was screaming about, those fight-starting scumbags in his stand. Yeah, they were black, so naturally he's up there screaming, et cetera, and so on.
Well, like I was saying, the last job Jesse Jackson had was making hamburgers and spitting at if the person was white.
Yeah.
And he had the guts to come and
Yeah, but at least he didn't spit in the soup anyway. We ought to commend him for that. Okay, have a great day, pal.
Stick around.
Okay. Did he say stick around? 5670560. Wasn't that a song by the Beach Boys? I stick around.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Beach Boys or the Ramseys? Come on, let's hear it.
Well, they only had that one big hit, the Ramseys.
Yeah. It was a killer, though. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I mean, you talk about desperate to fill up all these hours. One thing I like about MSNBC, they got 5 shows and they show it over and over again all day. 5 shows. We got the one on JFK Jr., we got the one about the bad pills, and we got the one about his swillery, and they show the same 5 things over and over again all day. But you know what? It sure beats John Gibson. Oh! Please don't put John Gibson puss on there again. Put anything on. How's the market doing, by the way? It started out, it was up about 70 for a couple of seconds, and then it went to the, look at that. All right. No wonder people are busy today. They're buying stock. Oh! Yeah. Dow is up 170 frickin' points. Oh! Yeah. NASDAQ's down 66, but too bad. That tech is dreck. I've been trying to tell you that. All you people that bought Puma at 4, now it's 162. It's a true story. Went to 162 on Friday. I was given a tip at $4 a share, and I'm sitting here. So it's an admission on my part. I'm a moron. I'm a schmuck. I'm an idiot. I'm a fool. I'm a jackass.
Uh-huh.
Dunderhead.
Uh-huh.
Schmuck.
Uh-huh.
Putz.
Uh-huh.
170. There's our good friend Ted David.
10% of its shares.
Yeah, calm down, Ted. Look at that. So don't look anymore. See, this is like it's like watching a Leafs game. I don't do it. I just turn on real quick in between to see what the score is because I'm bad luck. If I watch for more than 10 seconds, the market will take a precipitous drop. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir. Happy Monday, sir.
Same to you. You know, that incident in New York could have been avoided if one of the cops hadn't been a klutz.
Yeah.
Right. When the guy pulled his wallet out, that deadly wallet,
mm-hmm.
One of the cops yelled, "He's got a gun!"
Right.
And as he went to point it at the guy, he fell off the curb and shot. The other cops thought that this guy had just shot their
So in
brother.
other words, he was a little imbalanced. Is that what you're saying, sir?
I'm sorry?
A little unbalanced.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so to speak. Right. Okay, well, he made his point, and he's busy now. He's got to go buy some stock before it goes through the roof again. Got to buy it at these bargain basement levels. Everybody get on with your broker right now and buy. Oh! Come on, let's go. Let's get that thing up to $15,000 before the day is out. Let's get it up to $25,000, and I won't have to come back here again tomorrow. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. The company that refuses to care, the Wannabeasleys. And I'm so pleased to know, by the way, George, that Bob DeMuth is outraged with Bell South and with this, yeah, right. Outraged. So it's a little bit slow, but once he gets pissed, boy, look out for him. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Neil. How are you?
Great.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about that the situation in New York with the police officers.
Yes?
I agree with you that there was a degree of overreaction on the part of the police officers.
Overkill, yeah, a degree.
Yes. However, those situations when the first part of a bust, a drug bust like that, are by far the highest probability of a police officer.
Well, what do you mean drug bust?
Well,
this wasn't a drug bust. They thought he.
No, when they're involved with when they have guns drawn and they're in the process of holding, getting a prisoner or getting a person to the point where they're restrained. This guy with 4 guns drawn reaches in to pull out his wallet. That does not sound like a very smart move on the part. I mean, if I've got 4 police officers who are holding guns on me, I'm not going to reach in anywhere. I'm going to keep my hands behind my head and wait for a police officer to restrain me.
Yeah.
I mean, just in the defense of the police officers, a lot of people don't take a position where they realize they're facing somebody who's got deadly force and who's accustomed to using deadly force to protect themselves. And you've got police officers like this. They don't know if the guy's going for a gun or if he's going for his wallet. And none of them are willing to risk their lives, in a sense, and take a bullet to wait to see if the guy's actually pulling a gun.
Yeah, but how many, let me ask you this. How much, it's like the Rodney King thing. How much force was necessary to restrain somebody or to shoot the gun out of his hand or whatever it was he had in his hand? Does it take 41 shots?
They will not shoot the gun out of anybody's hand.
Why not?
It's for 2 reasons. One, because they don't have good enough aim.
Why not?
To arm somebody.
Why in the hell not?
Generally speaking, because if they start firing and they don't disarm the guy, they're going to get killed. When they pull their guns out, there are 4 of these armed cops, okay, and 1 man. 4. Count them. But their procedures, I'm telling you that their procedures that when they draw their guns, they don't draw to disarm somebody. They draw to kill somebody.
They draw to kill them. Well, that's great. That's terrific. Thanks for the good news. Thank you very much. Once you draw the gun and the guy says, gun, that's what the one officer yelled. He said, gun, and all of a sudden... Two more. Thank you. They're defending.
I feel safer.
Yeah, I feel a lot safer knowing that this scumbag serial rapist... Oh, he wasn't? He wasn't the guy? He was the wrong guy?
Uh-huh.
The wrong guy. Never stole a freight train. Never did nothing. But he reached for his wallet. That's the lesson for all you kids out there. Don't reach for your wallet. So if you get pulled over for a speeding violation, the cop says, let me see your license and registration. Don't reach in your pocket for your wallet because you might be reaching for your peace. 10 past 11 at 560 WQM.
You're listening to Real Sports Radio.
You're damn right, Einstein.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Loving you, live right, live wrong, read the good book too. And when it's time to head south and rest, I wanna go where the living possess. I wanna our best friend. I wanna go where the living is the best. I wanna die.
Yes.
It's 11:17 at 560 WQM. Now, you're not really getting calls from women off the air who are looking for free hockey tickets for the game tonight. Are you really getting tickets in there?
Hostile, surly, not polite.
Nasty?
Nasty.
Because I meet a lot of very nice women. In fact, the only place I meet nice women, because very rarely do any women come to our appearances, one or two, a few, a couple, but is at the hockey games, including I got a brand new neighbor that came by Saturday night at the game. She lives a couple of blocks away, and she also has a golden retriever, which what am I going to do about my golden retriever's ears? That's what we ought to be talking about today instead of this other crap. No, seriously, he's doing great, but his ears, that ear thing that just never goes away. I mean, I could go call up my good friend Dr. What's-her-name at the joint. You know what I'm talking about? My doctor. She's very nice, a little panicky, but I don't feel like going in there again and spending $50 or $100 so she can go in there and give me another tube of Otamax. Because it doesn't work anymore. He's got an ear infection, and I have to keep cleaning it out. He wakes me up 3:30 in the morning. He's shaking his head. I got to go get stuff and clean his ears out. 3:30 in the morning. It's starting to get a little bit old. You know what I'm saying, Winnie? Oh, I'm sorry. Don't take it personal. I'll just call the cops to come over and see if we can't solve the problem. I bet you somebody in this audience has got some magic potion or something to clean those damn ears out and cut this crap. Here's Jupiter. Hello. Jupiter.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, sir.
If you think about it, the cops have no right to shoot their gun any more than you or I do. Now they have to carry a gun, and yeah, sometimes they're allowed to hold a gun on somebody in the course of their duties.
Yeah.
Okay? But the only time you're allowed to shoot somebody is when you think they're going to hurt you to the point of maiming you or kill you.
Well, that's what the defense was, that they thought that the guy had a gun and they thought they were going to die.
That's right. Well, that's the only way anybody can shoot anybody.
Right.
Now, as far as 41 shots, you have to remember that the police in New York City only got the right to carry those semi-automatic pistols in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they make them use what they call hardball ammunition. That 9mm bullet was designed to wound people on a battlefield. It's called a 9mm parabellum. It's a hardball.
Yeah.
I would never carry hardballs unless I was target shooting.
Is that like a chin ball?
Hollow points open up and they stay in the person you shoot, and they tear a big chunk out of the skin, and that kills them. But these hardballs, you can get shot with 4 or 5 of those. Those 9mm are also supersonic. They hit you so hard that they go right through you, and they don't really do much damage.
Yeah.
So that's the fact of the matter is, if you know about guns and you know about bullets, and if you've seen people shot with a 9mm, and you're a cop and you've heard stories in the station house about I shot the guy 3 times and it was just like nothing ever happened to him, then you're going to do the same thing they did. Absolutely.
Okay, thanks for the good news. Do I believe it?
No.
No. You're going to do the same thing that they did. They shot 41 shots and hit him 19 times, by the way, including when he was already down. And I still say, okay, so let's assume for the sake of argument that there's such a bunch of klutzes and they don't take target practice that all these things we see on TV on the cowboy shows about, shooting the gun out of somebody's hand, obviously that's just all bullcrap, okay? But 4 cops can't, disable whatever the hell this guy had in his hand? The one caller that was right is as soon as they start shooting, they are shooting to kill. So there's no room for error. What that means is that if they think you've got a gun and you don't, which in this case was the story, you haven't got a Chinaman's chance, pardon that expression, because they are going to kill you dead. And these people sound very agreeable with that. They have no problem with that.
Well, he was black,
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
And an immigrant.
Right.
Double whammy.
Yeah. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Hey, Neil?
Yes, sir.
I read an article in the Washington Post this
I bet
weekend.
you John Rocker's going to sign up for the New York City Police Force. Yes, sir?
I read an article this weekend. It said it took us between 1776 and 1990 to put 1 million people in prison in this country.
Yeah.
We're coming up on a 2 million mark now this month. It took us the last 10
All
years
right.
because of George Bush and the zero tolerance with the drugs.
Right.
Now we got 2 million people in this jail in this country, and they're letting out killers and rapists
Right.
make room for all the guys that are smoking pot.
Mm-hmm.
So, this police state, you got to get stoned around here every once in a while just to live in
That's
this
the
hole.
American fucking way.
That's right.
You're damn right. I got pulled over, talking about cops, I got pulled over on 95 about 4 months ago in the dark. It was 6 o'clock in the morning, heading to work, and a female cop pulls me over, tells me to get out of the car. She's got the lights on me, and she says to me, she gets out of the car also, she says to me, stay on my right-hand side. I said, why is that? She said, that's my gun hand. You'd think I didn't do everything she wanted me to do. I did.
Mm.
Anyway,
That's
God
cute.
bless America.
Okay. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. There is nobody in this audience who disagree with the cops. Everybody loves the cops. Everybody thinks it's okay. And if they would have just had those hollow points, they could have just blown his guts out. He would have only had a shot like 15 times maybe. And maybe only about 7 or 8 would have had to hit him. Just to be safe and just to be sure. Here's a mobile in Kendall. Hello.
Forget the cops. Let's talk about your dog's ears again.
Yes, something important that we can do something about.
This is a town that thinks that Peter Worrell is the most exciting hockey player on the team.
Yeah.
So we can't talk about sports, and we could talk about cops, I guess. But just give the Miami cops a couple weeks, and they'll match it. They'll do something. They always do.
Okay, thanks for your very remarkable comment, sir. Did anybody know what he said?
No.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Out of town line, 877-785-6345. This really is, I've said it many, many a time. It's not said for to be humorous. It's not said to be melodramatic. This is a scary place, this town.
Uh-huh.
A scary place. Once upon a time, it was a whole different ambiance here, but not anymore, man. Not anymore. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Neil, how you
Yes,
doing?
sir. Okay.
I tell you, I'm trying to make this town as scary as possible. Get all these old farts out of here.
Yeah.
I wanted to say,
That's one of the things that makes it so scary.
I wanted to say something about I don't know what this guy is talking about with talking about the cops, and I tell you what
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Out of town line, everybody listening all over the world, nobody's got an opinion on the shooting of those the guy with those 4 cops in New York getting off. Not anything, not a slap on the wrist, of course, they're not done yet, as you know, thank goodness for that. The acquittal didn't end their legal problems. Members of a roving plainclothes unit had allegedly stopped and frisked young black men without cause. A civil suit is expected against the officers in the city in the next few weeks. There's also the chance federal civil rights charges may be filed. The Justice Department took that course after 4 L.A. police officers were acquitted in the videotape beating of black motorist Rodney Can't We All Get Along King. So they're not out of the woods yet. Oh, and then speaking of not out of the woods and speaking of filing civil charges, how about that O.J., huh?
Oh!
Yeah. Now he says he's demanding the records of the phone company to show that the call that was made, Nicole was talking to her parents while everybody thought she was dead. Even though they already rehashed this, it was before 10 o'clock that call was made, but now he's just starting up again. Come on down, OJ. Come on down. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Just absolutely unacceptable. And there are people here who want the autograph from OJ. They want his autograph, baby, because they got their memorabilia. See, I don't know why people should be talking about crime and criminals and scumbags. America loves a scumbag. Don't you remember that song by Gary Lewis and the Playboys, Everybody Loves a Scumbag? That was one of his big hits. They like it. The bigger the scumbag you are, the more they set you up on a pedestal, and the more they want an autograph.
Can I have your autograph, Mr. Simpson? Thank you.
26 after 11 at 560 WQM.
The First Speed, weekday mornings at 6.
I listen to morning and evening.
First thing in the morning, I turn it on. I get the scores. I get the
No.
weather.
QAM.
Holy Mackinac! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you're listening to the Hockey Authority, Neil Gott.
My dad is an asshole. His big mouth is causing trouble. Yes, the old guy losing his mind. He said to put those stand-up comic broads back in the kitchen where they belong. Now you know why I went to me after what that schmuck did to me. You go crazy too. If that crazy Jew raised you. After all of my hit records, all that my dad ever said was, don't expect to find a job when you get back from Vietnam. Yes, my dad is an asshole, a big mouth, stupid asshole. Yes, the old guy losing his mind. He said to put those stand-up comic broads back in the kitchen where they belong.
Ahoy! Ladies, you don't belong up there.
They ought to make baby gold and dead broad.
But in all seriousness, I would say that we'd have to focus on my kids. Come on, shell out a few bucks to those little retards.
Ahoy! And you'll never walk alone.
It's 560 WQM. Get out of here, Jerry, okay? And take your kids with you while you're at it. 5670560. So Panalog, we just had somebody call in, a vet, a dog person, somebody. And we're on the phone right now. George is on the phone as we speak. I'm going to get me some Panalog, and I'm going to go home and shovel just gallons of it in my dog's ears, and then see how it works out. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Miramar. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
What's up with these pigs, Neil? These pigs.
What is it, sir?
What's up with these pigs in New York, Neil? They out to get us.
5670560, pound 560 on the line. Anybody in town from out of town, by the way, I hope you understand that everything you hear on this show is a very accurate and astute reflection of what this town is all about. You already know that, don't you? Please understand that. Please absorb it. Don't ever forget it. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Mobile in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got cut off. I was talking to you a few minutes ago.
You didn't get cut off. You got turned into somebody else.
Yeah, all of a sudden I lost it on this end, but I wanted to touch base with old people and some of your people that call in, and of course you made the same comment too, that you're sick and tired of them and blah 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 blah.
I didn't say I'm sick and tired of old people. I said there are too many crabby old people in this area. The demographic here is lopsided.
Well, it is. There's no question they came down here, but
to die.
God, I mean, what are you going to do with them?
Well, here's a guy just set a record, and only this time somebody else didn't come on. This is too much today. This is more than any one person should have to endure. Let's get some food from Tony's in here. Let's get a bunch of pizzas. No salad, no meat and cheese, just a bunch of nice pepperoni pizzas. And I'll just scrape all the good stuff. I'll scrape the cheese off the top. $5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. See, it's America, sir. You can't say Schmidt on the radio. Don't you understand that?
No.
Don't you get it?
No.
It's America.
No.
You can't say it.
No.
You can take one. You just can't say it. Maybe you can take one. Are you still allowed to take one?
No.
No, just hold it. Here's Sunrise. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
How you doing this morning?
Okay. Best I can.
Yeah. Yeah, this morning, you're probably doing better than I. This morning, I sent my wife over to the Mac Arena, asked her to pick up tickets for the game tonight. What'd she come home with? Tina Turner tickets.
Why is that?
Because she was going to get her tickets, but she forgot mine.
Oh, so in other words, you just got the Tina Turner tickets and no hockey
Right.
tickets, huh?
I went back and going to get the Panther pack, sold out.
That fucking bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Any chance I could get tickets for tonight?
Yeah, they got a lot of them. 5,000 seats. Get right back over there. Said a lot of tickets. 5670560, pound 560. One good thing about this show, at least this audience is consistent.
Oh!
Yeah. Picking right up where we left off last Thursday and Friday. Don't let a weekend get in the way of these bastards. Nothing will stop them. Now, let's see. What does it say? If you're stopped by a Fort Myers cop, if you're white, just say, howdy, officer. I'm on my way to the Klan meeting. If you're black or Hispanic, stay out of Lee County. There you go. A little warning for you.
Oh!
If you're black or Hispanic, stay out of Lee County. Or else they give you the official Lee County greeting, which sounds something like that. So basically, generally speaking, the cops are always in the right, and these other people, they can do no wrong. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, or as John McCain would say, those gooks can do no wrong. Isn't that what he said? Something like that?
Uh-huh.
By the way, speaking of that, since nobody seems to care, George W., he picked up some real big stuff over the weekend. He got, half a delegate somewhere in the Virgin Islands and the territories and all the ships at sea. And a special hello to servicemen, whatever that was, Foster Hewitt used to say. George W. picked up more than 24 delegates to the Republican National Convention. You know, this man is so dumb, it's scary. Did you see him when they cornered him on the thing about interracial dating and his appearance at Bob Jones University? He couldn't, no. He tried to clarify it, and he kept getting it wrong. No, I'm opposed to interracial dating. And what he was trying to say was he was opposed to their position, but he couldn't say it. Or maybe he just couldn't bring himself to say it, one or the other. And he just kept just stepping all over his tongue. He couldn't be speaking, this man. He is a vacuum head, George E.W. But now he's got 93 delegates, and Senator McCain, old John McCain, the newly remade John McCain, he's got 96. And tomorrow, what do we got tomorrow? We got Virginia. George W. going to win Virginia, right?
Uh-huh.
And North Dakota,
uh-huh.
and a partridge in a pear tree.
Uh-huh.
And then a week from tomorrow, it's Stupid Tuesday, baby.
Oh!
Yeah, Stupid Tuesday.
Oh!
It's all a bunch of crap. 5670560, but I got my voting thing. I'm going to be voting this year 20, 30 times easy. That's just in Broward, maybe 50 times in Dade. Especially if they get that baseball thing on a ballot in Dade County.
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.
I'm going to be voting like every 5 minutes. Here's a lady in Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Neil.
How are you?
I'm calling because I can't believe some of these people are defending the New York cops.
What do you mean some of them? Every one of them so far.
Well, I don't think
Every single one. It's unanimous. I can't wait to see our poll result later on our website.
But I don't think people know that these police officers were not in uniform. They were plain clothes police officers.
Right.
So how could this man that just fall into the ground and obey these cops? He probably didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
And I'm just really shocked that people are calling and trying to justify. I think we've been conditioned now to accept the police state, and I'm just really upset and disappointed by what I'm hearing.
Now, one of the officers, this boss guy, he'd be the boss. Mm-hmm. He says that Diallo was when he went back into the building, you know, he was in a combat stance.
Right.
Are you following that?
Right.
I really, maybe he was going to do a little karate there. Maybe this guy's been watching too many Ralph Macchio movies or something like that.
Yeah, I think he was pulling his wallet to probably show ID.
Right, exactly.
This is who I am.
But like you say, he was a little bit like taken back because these are plainclothes guys.
Exactly.
And like I said, their claim to fame was that they would go around the neighborhood and frisking young black guys without any special reason just because they were black.
Well, I'm really disappointed this morning, Neil. That's why I wanted to call. I'm really disappointed.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's the American way. Don't forget it.
Bye.
Okay. See you at the passport office, sweetheart. And good luck to you and your people and all of us people. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. 21 before noon at 560 WQAM, where we love the cops, baby. We love guns. We love bullets. Oh, by the way, whatever happened with that, George? Whatever happened with my stuff?
Waiting for a callback. They're checking their inventory.
They're checking to see if they have it?
Yeah.
It's a very common thing.
Yeah, but they're a really tiny little place over there. The Community Animal Hospital.
Yeah. Tiny is over in the Community Animal Hospital? Is that what you just said? Well, I sure hope it's nothing too serious, Tiny. And don't throw up on the carpet again. Piece of crap. 21 before noon at 560 WQ.
For Christ's sake, she's only got one eye.
He categorically denied he ever sorted a line of cocaine. He says that it's not true that he ever used cocaine. Georgia lies when he denies that he tried cocaine. What the Republicans say in an attempt to save his campaign. Here's that he's pure as a saint, and he would never play with cocaine. Georgie lies when he denies that he tried cocaine.
11:45 at 560 WQM. They got a thumbnail sketch of the four officers involved in the shooting in the Bronx. Edward McMillan, 27, has been on the force 6 years. He unloaded 16 shots. He's had 5 civilian complaints alleging excessive force, abuse of authority, and racial insensitivity, all deemed unsubstantiated by department officials. Sean Carroll, 37, 3 civilian complaints against him were all deemed unsubstantiated. Kenneth Boss, the boss, 3 civilian complaints alleging excessive use of force were all deemed unsubstantiated. See a pattern developing there?
Uh-huh.
And Richard Murphy, 27, who's had no prior shooting incidents or civilian complaints and fired only 4 times. I just mentioned that in passing. And it's interesting so far, of all the calls that we've had, the one young lady who obviously sounded to me like she might have been a little dark-complected. So here's a racial thing again, huh?
Uh-huh.
Wow. So it's okay for black people to get shot at 41 times. I wonder if there's anybody in this audience who's called to give me this big pseudo-intellectual condoning of the police action. I wonder if it would have been somebody in their family, white, dark, or in between, what the hell they would have said. Or somebody that they knew who never stole a freight train and never raped anybody.
Well, my family member wouldn't have been a black South African, West African.
And he certainly wouldn't have assumed that combat position. Here's a call in Chicago. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Yes, sir. Great.
Yeah, the cops should hang. I mean, there's no reason why this should happen, and they go with...
Well, you know that nobody gets abused by cops in Chicago, for crying out loud.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh. I mean, that's an understatement.
Yeah.
But, you know, the OJ thing, I mean, he's banned from society, essentially. What I'm concerned about is this Ramsey deal, how these two can just float off with nothing.
Well, I think the reason being that the ineptitude of the investigation was so grotesque, and in the first hours following the murder, they allowed the evidence to be contaminated so badly that they're never going to convict anybody. I mean, they just get through with the whole grand jury thing and they're promising us this and that and no indictments, no nothing, and life goes on. They're never going to nail anybody.
I guess we just got to watch our back.
Yeah, there you go, and watch Patsy too while you're at it.
Take care, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, I think that if Mommy, all you little kids out there, if Mommy comes home with a bunch of duct tape from the store, and what else was it that she got? The duct tape and something else.
The cord.
And the cord, yeah. Well, maybe she wanted to, kind of like tie that umbilical cord back again. That might have been that might have been something.
Maybe she wanted to do macrame.
And now I want you to stop and think about this scenario, okay? We got these people that have planned this kidnapping. This was supposed to be not a rape, not a murder. This was a kidnapping. They go into the house. They find a way in the house while the parents are still in there, by the way, because she was never in there alone. And they borrow a pad and a pen, Patsy's notepad, and they write the ransom note. And they just happen to know the amount of John Ramsey's bonus that they asked for the ransom, $118,000. Is there anybody with a IQ larger than who believes this crap?
No.
No. I say, just to be on the safe side, fry both their asses, is what I say. Yeah, let's fry both their asses just to make sure we get the right one. Because whichever one didn't do it has been covering up for the other one anyway. Or maybe they both done it. Maybe he was doing the raping and maybe she was doing the strangling and masking and whatever else was going on. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a lady in Margate. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm just, I want to let you know I don't agree with the verdict in the Gallo case.
Yeah.
I just heard on TV that the defense expert who said the police follow proper procedure was never cross-examined by the prosecution.
Why is that?
I don't know. They thought he should have been cross-examined. Because maybe they didn't follow proper procedures, but they never cross-examined him to find out.
Nice.
Anyhow, I'm from Albany myself, and I thought those people up there would get it right. But lo and behold, they came out with that verdict.
And they had 4 black people on a jury.
They had black people. Yeah, it's amazing. It's really amazing.
Maybe Regis brought in a bag of money or something. Okay, have a great day, sweetheart.
You too.
Bye-bye. See you in Schenectady.
No.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. They took fighting out of hockey. Would you still go to the game?
No.
No, not down here. They took the big black number 8 away from the team. Would you still go?
No.
No. See, I love hockey because it's a fast game, because it's exciting, the speed, the skill, the passing, the scoring, the great saves, the breakaways, the penalty shots. That's what makes it exciting, not the stupid fights. And we got people talking about the Marty McSorley, Donald Brashear episode who never heard of either one of them. And everybody's got a goddamn opinion. But like a lot of intelligent, rational people have said, if the violence weren't permitted and even condoned in the first place, then stuff like this wouldn't happen. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Neil. How are you?
Okay.
I'm a black male. I'd like to make a comment on shooting in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the Declaration of Independence, it starts out with a quote as, and when in the course of human events,
yes,
blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is when society does not hold up to its laws and nature's laws, that the society is supposed to rebel. What should happen in this case, the only thing I think that would rectify it is that the cops themselves were taken out. And taken out, I mean shot dead, just like the kid was.
Yeah, who's going to do that?
Well, I would hope society would.
Society's going to shoot the cops.
I would hope so.
So in other words, you believe in vigilante justice? Is that what you're recommending, sir?
No, sir.
Then how does that happen? Who's going to do it? We're going to appoint a committee? Is that how it works?
I'll make
Because
reference.
this is something new and novel. I've never quite heard this one before. I must have missed that part of the Declaration of Independence.
Well, that's why I made reference to it. A lot of people know it's there. They don't read it.
They know what's there, where it says take justice into your own hands if you don't like the verdict in the trial and go out and shoot the cops. Well, what part of the Declaration of Independence is that?
That is exactly what it says, sir.
That's exactly what it says. Okay, let's get a copy of it, George, and read it. He said that's exactly, isn't that what he just said? That's exactly what it says? Did he say that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It says when you don't like the verdict, just like the OJ thing. Oh, I should have asked him about OJ, too. Yeah. Let's take care of that one first. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. You see, this is very tragic because this is also part of the American way. It shouldn't make a goddamn bit of difference what color this guy's skin was, where he came from. Shouldn't mean anything to anybody. But so far, all of the people on the one side, except the nice lady that called a couple of calls ago, all the other people, all the men, all the macho men, they're all for the cops, except we had one young black lady who was upset by the verdict, and then we got this black guy who wants to invoke the Declaration of Independence, the clause there where it says, if you don't like it, blow their brains out, okay? If they did acquit, then they're full of Schmidt. However that thing goes. Isn't that what it says? If they did acquit, then they're all full of Schmidt? Yeah. Woo! 5670560. You know what? We're calling off this year's presidential election. I'm taking over.
Oh, God.
That's right. That's the only hope you got, boys and girls. I'll tell you that right now. The only hope you got. I'd be taking over right now. Going to be real interesting to see when I get the Eric faxes over the first numbers from our poll today. Do you agree with the not guilty verdict of the 4 New York cops? Yes or no? Very simple, yes or no. If you agree, if you think that it was the right verdict, you say yes. If you disagree, if you think maybe they should have got at least a slap on the wrist, at least they suspended a sentence, something. Here's Cutler Ridge. Hello. Cutler Ridge.
Hey, Neil, how you doing today?
Okay.
Great. Good morning to you.
And back to you.
George rules, Neil's God.
Yeah.
Sir, you know there's a poetry contest over the weekend, and it involved a Harvard-Yale gentleman and a Tennessee redneck, and they were each given the same word, and they had 2 minutes to come up with this poem, and the winner, of course, would be the winner. And the Harvard-Yale guy went first, and the word was Timbuktu.
Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello. Now that was beautiful. I just punched up the mobile in Miami, and our phone system just made them disappear. Don't blame me. You could just hear it. You hear it get yanked? Just like that. You see, you guys in this building, Bluff Lindsay and Greg Reed and Bob DeMuth, all these other Beasley people, you can keep howling about Bell South all you want. Like I've said, there's other options. If Bell South can't provide a phone system in this room that works, there's a zillion other options. We've had people that have begged to come in here for free, put in their own phone system from their company, one that actually works with fiber optic connections, with crystal clear connections. And this place, it's like they're in suspended animation, these people. They can't get off the goddamn dime. Here's Miramar. Hello. Miramar.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a couple of comments about the thing in New York.
Uh-huh.
I'm totally disgusted with the police there. I understand from a couple of reports that I've heard on the Today Show that this guy had 5 bullet holes in the bottom of his shoes.
Right. Yeah, they shot him after he was down. They kept on shooting.
They kept on shooting, right. Now, let me tell you something. If that would have happened down here, I think that the people down here would have rioted. And that I think the people are very what's the word for you don't give a damn about
indifferent?
Well, they're indifferent
Conditioned?
or maybe conditioned,
yeah.
and they
subservient.
And they don't care. I remember, like in the Rodney King thing.
I don't agree with you. I think they've just had too many incidents of racial violence in New York already, and even an asshole like Al Sharpton is warning them, don't go out there and start up because that's not going to solve anything. That's not the way we're going to get to the bottom of this.
But what about
what we want?
What about the mayor? Doesn't he have anything to say about anything?
Well, what do you mean doesn't he have to say? The mayor is a fascist. The mayor supports it. The mayor said the jury did a good job. He gave his apologies to the family, and he said, but nevertheless, we support the cops. They did the right thing.
Oh, they did the right thing.
The mayor is a Nazi, sir. Don't you understand that?
Yes, I do.
The mayor is a card-carrying fascist.
I understand.
He wants to be a member of the U.S. Senate, by the way.
Have any of your listeners watching Today's Show this morning with the 8 jurors that were on this morning?
I don't know.
They are morons. And you know what they had to say? They listened to what the judge's instructions were to say.
Yeah.
And the judge's instructions were to say to put yourself in the cop's position. What about this poor bastard's decision to walk out of his apartment and just be there and try to give them my ID before they blew him away? Mm-hmm. What about him?
Yeah.
What about him?
Well, it don't make any difference to him now, I guess, because he's dead. 5670560. Here's the first results from our poll. You're going to, well, it's at least a little better than the poll I saw on the that Roadrunner thing. Our poll question today on NeilRogers.com. And how come there's only 60 votes, by the way? What's the story? Is this audience, have they all died? Is that what it is?
Uh-huh.
Jesus, I think that thing we saw on Saturday at the Indian place, I think that was that should have given us a big message. 60 votes? By noon, 2 hours, we got a whole 60 people that have made the effort to voice an opinion on this? That's been the number one story in the news all goddamn weekend long? At any rate, well, I'll do it after the break. 3 minutes before noon at 560 WQA.
The Neil Rogers Show. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
I don't have to grow up. I'm a Guns N' Roses kid, so I can always kill myself for something bad I did. It's gonna be cool when I kill everyone at school, 'cause my dad said it's okay. I'll exercise my right back by the NRA that lets me be a Guns N' Roses kid.
He's a Guns N' Roses kid. I taught him how to shoot. What? He really loves the sight of blood. Now ain't that kind of cute? I'm a homicidal Nazi redneck with a side on the internet. I'm a lifetime member of the NRA. That's why I raised a Guns N' Roses kid. Here, son.
Oh boy, a clip for my gun.
I'm glad that you're a Guns N' Roses.
That's the American fucking way.
Okay, 1202 at 560 WQAM. You see, this wasn't a serial murderer they were looking for, a serial rapist. So I guess maybe instead of pulling out his wallet, if he would have pulled out his, yeah. Then they could have said, oh yeah, that's the guy, and then they could have. blown them away. Anyway, here's our poll results so far. 60 votes in 2 hours. And we're not on the air. Maybe that explains it. Wait till we go on the air. Do you agree with the not guilty verdict of the New York City cops? So far, yes, 25, 41.6%. No, 35, 58.3%. 60 votes. A little bit too close for me. Isn't that too close? And like I said, the one on the Roadrunner on their national poll, it was even Steven. I think the yeses were like a little bit ahead as far as agreeing with the verdict. Not that I want to put any ideas in your head or manipulate the way you say, okay? Especially after you read that part of the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence or the Louisiana Purchase, whatever the hell I was talking about. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil, I hate to sound like the devil's advocate for the cops over there in Lee County, but I'm a young black male, and I got to tell you, those guys run circles around the cops over here.
Yeah.
I travel back and forth over to Naples and here like every other weekend. And one weekend I was really testing for time. So I was going like 100 miles an hour on the trail. One of those cops over there in Lee County pulled me over. I dropped all 4 windows because I have dark tints and it was really dark over there, and plus I'm dark complected.
Right. A lot of darkness going on, yeah.
Oh yeah. I made sure he saw my hands. Also, I have a weapons permit. I had like 2 guns in the vehicle. So I kept both hands on the steering wheel till 10, and I explained to the cop, listen, I'm legally carrying 2 concealed weapons. He didn't bother to ask me where they were, didn't ask me what type they were. He continued with the process, asked me for my driver's license and registration, proof of insurance. So anyhow, after talking to the guy, like 5 minutes into the conversation, just let me off with a warning. Mind you, after 100 mile an hour speeding violation.
100 miles an hour and 2 guns, and he said, hey, have a nice day.
Okay, so now, same incident coming off from Coconut Grove. My wife is Hispanic.
Yeah.
I was doing the speed limit on US 1.
Right.
Maybe like 35, 40 miles an hour. And I saw the cop sitting off the left-hand side of the road with his gun, but I wasn't threatened first because I wasn't speeding. I look up in my rearview mirror, I see him coming down behind me. He tried to play a game with me. He stayed in the middle lane, and then he came over. Exactly. He came over, and then he pulled me. Same thing. I dropped all 4 windows, kept hands 2 and 10, and told him, officer, I have a concealed weapon on me. He told me, if you touch it, I'll blow your effing hair out. Get out of the car, made me spread him, the whole 9 yards, like if I had just killed 10 people.
Yeah.
So, again, I'd hate to be the devil's advocate for those guys.
Okay, well, listen, I'll see you in Fort Myers.
There you go. I got one shameless request.
Yes, sir.
Could you play Snorting 8 Balls for me?
All right.
All right.
Okay, slow down, pal. Slow down. Here's a guy that's got, 15 concealed weapons. He's starting to go 120 miles an hour. What the hell's wrong with you, police, anyway? 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I don't know where to start with this.
Right at the beginning.
Thing. The problem, as far as I see, is no accountability. It's the same thing when you work for the city, the county, the state. They can get complaints. It doesn't matter that they're not fined. If anything, they're relieved on duty with pay.
Mm-hmm.
And does this happen anywhere else in the world, any other country? And I watched part of that on Court TV.
Yeah.
I got mixed up. I thought the prosecutor was one of the defense attorneys, just by the questions he wasn't asking.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing pointed, nothing that rattled anyone on the stand.
Yeah. Maybe he knows Chris Darden and Marcia Clark.
And we were laughing at that other guy, but what if the shoe was on the other foot? Well, what if it was for citizens who shot a cop before or as he was reaching for his badge?
Well, what about, let me ask you this, what about it if it would have been 4 black cops and the victim would have been white? You think that the people calling Dave would have had the same opinion?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's a black or white thing. I don't know, but
it shouldn't be, but there's no question that it is. You just by the few calls we've had about it here today on this show, it obviously is.
I do know they have too much authority and not enough accountability.
Okay. And say hi to those cops with that 10-year-old prostitute down there in Kendall while you're at it. Hear any more about that over the weekend?
No.
No. It's only the 28th of February, by the way. In 2 days, it'll be March 1st, 2000. Are we ever going to hear any more about that?
No.
No, we're not going to hear any more about that because it was the cops that done it and they swept it under the carpet. If you guys go out there and you're having sex with, if you set up a goddamn horror ring with some 16-year-old girl, even if you're 19 years old and you're having sex with a 16-year-old girl, it's statutory rape. You're going to go to jail. And here we had a bunch of cops setting up a prostitution ring in Goody Two-Shoes, South Florida in America, where prostitution is illegal except in one county in Nevada out there. And our local news media with a big song and a dance for about 2 days until they got tired of it and decided that we want to hear more about goddamn JonBenét, who's been dead for, she ain't even like lukewarm anymore. Maybe Luke done it. No, seriously, have we ever heard one more word about this?
No.
No. Because it would be too embarrassing to too many cops and too many law enforcement agencies in Dade County. So as a result, certain individuals managed to sweep this under the carpet, and certain brilliant journalists in this town have managed conveniently to forget all about it. Prostitution ring with minors. And their best customers were porkers. Do unto others. How does that thing go? Screw unto others? Don't bring Screw Ann to this, please. She's got enough on her hands. 9 minutes past noon at 560 WQ.
I don't give a shit anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the two newest New York Yankees, Darryl Strawberry and Doc Gooden, and their personal coach, Steve Howe. That's what I'd like to know.
Doc Gooden's in the wind-up. The straw man snorts the line-up. He's drooling like a dog who heard a bell. He's high as a lab rat from smoking the crack at a bat. He doesn't like cocaine, just likes the way it smells. Snorting 8 balls. Darryl's rolling up a 20. Snorting 8 balls. And he's giving Gooden plenty. They lick the $20 bill. Their teeth are grinding like a pepper mill. Doing 8 balls. Alcohol and pills. Easy stuff. Steve Howe is in the bullpen. His nostrils are wide open. He's so f***ed up he thinks he's on the Braves. He gets advice from Doc, and Doc prescribes some rock. So first he blew a line, and then he blew the save. Snorting 8 balls. They abuse the magic powder. Snorting 8 balls. Sprinkle it on their clam chowder. Prescriptions got perpetual refill. They do it in the pool if they had gills. Doing 8 balls. Alcohol and pills. All that money. 8 balls. Alcohol and pills.
I'd like to welcome you all aboard. This is your manager, Buck.
Hi, Buck.
12:15 at 560 WQAM 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. The officer said the 5'6", 150-pound Diallo darted into the dimly lit entrance of his building and drew a black object that looked like a gun. Boss recalled that Diallo was in a combat stance. The officer said they feared for their lives and opened fire. Carroll and McMillan, whatever the hell his name is, the first to shoot, emptied their 16-shot guns. Boss fired 5 times and Murphy 4 while backing up their partners. Carroll wept on a stand while recalling the shock of realizing the black object was just a wallet. I said, "Where's the effing gun?" In closing arguments, prosecutor Eric Warner told jurors Diallo never stood a chance. After the officers made a snap judgment that he was a suspect lurking in a bad neighborhood, a coroner had testified that most of the bullets probably struck Diallo as he was falling or while he was flat on his back. Although one witness said she heard an officer shout "gun" before the shooting, several prosecution witnesses testified they'd never heard the officers' voices before the gunfire started. All right. Here's a lady mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Hello. All right. She's got the radio up and enough noise to kill a freight train. Hello. Oh, boy.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Neil?
Yes, I am.
Hi, how are you?
Okay.
I'm a 20-year-old white female, and I have an opinion about this thing going on in New York.
Yes?
I don't believe that it's about race. I mean, people are making it all about race, but it's about human life and the loss of a human life.
Yeah.
And I believe black, white, purple, or pink, these men should be sitting in prison, regardless of what color they are, because if it was white police officers that shot a white man, I don't believe that the black community would be so outraged about it.
Well, of course not.
But I just believe that it's about losing a human life,
Right.
as point blank. You know, if it was black officers that shot a black man, then it would not be okay. But if it was white officers that shot a white man, then the black community would say, okay, it's okay, brush it under the rug, get rid of it. So that's my opinion about it.
Okay.
I think they should be sitting in prison right
Have
now.
a great day, okay? Did anybody know what she just said?
No.
I can't figure it out. But at any rate, just like O.J. and the two white victims, see, same thing, strictly racial. The only people who would love to defend O.J., besides a few assholes in this building, are black folks. Some of them, a very small minority, I think, at this point. And then, of course, there are the black folks who say, okay, well, we know he did it, but now it's one for our side, you know, because we've been getting screwed so long, as if somehow we have a whole series of these. We're going to, like a contest, to see if we can't even it up. Is that what it's all about?
Uh-huh.
And the bottom line is you live in a country, and I've been telling you this for years, where human life is as cheap as stepping on a cockroach, so what's everybody all bent out of shape about? Get more people killed here in 1 hour in this country than in some civilized countries in a whole year. Well, you know, that's just the way it is, okay? Go someplace else. Screw you, Neil. Go someplace else. Okay. Thank you. 567. They never called back with my ear stuff?
I'll call them during the next break.
Oh, boy. What's it called again?
Community
Panelog?
Hospital.
No, not the place.
Oh,
why do
Panelog,
you keep
sorry.
saying the name of the place? Panelog. Well, I keep repeating that because maybe somebody will come by here with a few tubes or with a bunch of pizzas instead, which would be even better for that. Because who the hell wants Panelog for lunch? Anybody want Panelog for lunch? No, but if we had a bunch of pizzas from Tony's, from our good friend Brad and our delivery guy that just brought them in the door as I spoke, then we'd be in good shape, and we could do the Skatkins again today. See, the other thing, I'm doing well on that other diet, the 20-30, but the only problem is my blood sugar is sky high because I'm eating pasta again and the things that you're supposed to eat on that diet. And my blood sugar was like too high. Not good. Not good. Can you hear it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's gurgling. So I'll do Atkins for a couple hours today, I think. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. And then, of course, we got the big hockey game tonight where you can do the Wayne Huizinga diet. So overpriced and so bad, you wouldn't eat any of it in the first place. Maybe a little diet soda. Although I will confess I had the onion rings Saturday. And they weren't that bad. Isn't that bad? I'm confessing that because I cannot tell a lie unless there's something in it for me. They weren't that bad. So if you must eat something at the Macarena, get you the onion rings and a soda and 20 or 30 beers, and you'll feel great. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Yes, hi, Neil.
Hello.
Yes, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, there's two things that disturb me about this case. First of all, I guess it's public and general consensus that there's too many shots shot.
Consensus is what?
41 shots.
Yeah.
And
19 hits.
Yeah. Why?
Even Darryl Strawberry never had that many.
Why did they approach him initially?
Because they thought he fit the description of the suspected serial rapist.
So why didn't they just rush him and bring him down? Why didn't four against one? Why didn't they just rush him and bring him down?
Because they thought he was pulling a gun.
No, I mean, even you got four guys against one.
Listen, you don't have to debate it with me. I agree with you, man. All these bozos defending it say, "Oh no, well, they're not trained to do that. Once they start shooting, they're going to kill you." Which I don't understand that.
But I'll tell you, Neil. In case of a police protocol, it's like in a justice system. You're innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
And you feel like these guys would have surrounded this individual, and they would have had the upper hand. And if this guy would have went into his pocket and presented any type of weapon, they could have subdued him.
Why
did they put themselves in the...
Wait a minute. You said they could have subdued him. How?
You see how four guys against one?
Yeah.
They couldn't have subdued him. You mean to take 4 white men to...
well, what difference does it make whether they were white? You
Well,
see my
evidently
dark
that's what the
What
issue
difference
was.
does it make that they were white?
But you mean to tell me that you can't get 4 guys to subdue one
But you
individual?
keep using the word subdue. What does that mean? You suggest that they rushed him, and if it turned out that it was a gun, he would have blown 1 or 2
If
away?
they thought, in fact, that he was a perpetrator in an individual crime, they should have just rushed him and ground him, and then talk about it later.
Oh, what you mean? You mean before he pulled out the wallet?
No. If they thought this guy was involved in any kind of crime, they should have rushed him and ground him.
So in
All
other
those guys
words,
should have rushed him and
in
ground
other
him.
words, if somebody sees you walking down the street and they confuse you with a suspect
I
they're
would
looking
rather
for,
that than being killed.
yeah, good point. Excellent. Good point. That is a good point. You know what? Okay, calm down, sir. Don't want to get stressed out while I'm eating here. 5670560, pound 560, because once you get stressed out, that old IBS starts up again, which knock on wood. Knock on wood, boy. Since I had my nice vacation there, I've been doing pretty good. Knock on wood. It just is very, very incredibly disturbing to me that, and again, the guy had a good point there at the end. At least if they rush you and chew you down before you had a chance to reach for anything, even if you're not the guy, at least they're not going to blow you away by accident because they overreact. But again, keep in mind, and I'm not saying I necessarily agree because I don't know. I don't live in New York, thank God, although I do live here, so it goes to show you. It says these 4 police officers allegedly were being excessive because they cracked down on crime by stopping and frisking young black men without cause. So in other words, just because you're a young black guy, they would stop you and frisk you. If you look dangerous, if you look like something that they didn't like. And of course, all 4 of these guys happen to be white. It's not working, folks. It's not working. The racial experiment in America, it ain't working. Got news for you. How about if we just split up the states? How's that sound? Okay. South Carolina. Let the crackers have Georgia and South Carolina. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
Neil, I got a couple things I wanted to talk to you about. The first thing was, these cops, the police nowadays are, they're out of control. They really are. I mean, it seems like it's more harassment than anything else nowadays with the police. I mean, to sit there and load on a guy like that, I mean, you can just put it together like you're doing, and you can just tell that they definitely were wrong. The other thing I want to talk about is I like Peter Warwick, and I like it when he gets out there and starts fighting. It brings some action.
Peter Warwick?
No, I mean the hockey player for the.
What's his name? I thought Peter Warwick was a football player.
What's his last name?
Who?
Peter.
Pumpkin Eater. Peter Pumpkin Eater. Get out of here. 5670560, pound 560. I mean, I'll be glad to talk about it with you, whatever your opinion is, but if you don't even know the guy's name, then what kind of conversation can we have? You know what I'm saying? Like that? Any real hockey fans out there, what you just heard is a classic example of hockey knowledge here in South Florida. Peter Warwick. And let me ask you this, is Warwick done? And what the hell kind of a name is that anyway? I know Dionne Warwick. You think she'd be kin to them?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And how about that Derek Thomas and those 7 kids by 5 different women he had? Oh, you want to make another eulogy? Is that what it is? 26 past noon at 560 WQAM.
The Florida Panthers live here. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Well, I never thought I'd find the kind of ride that I've been tooling around in today. Now it's a classic set of wheels fixed up the way a brother would like it. Now it's been clean and shiny and the trim is cold sanitized under my seat. I got a can of liquid cherry, yo. Aw, baby. Coconut colada, cherry, chariot, baby blue. Aw, baby. Shiny little velvet, little smelly machine. Took the suspension out, so I bounced down the road in a pit daddy superfly. Now if the authors stop, no big deal. Someday I'll get around to fixing the brakes. A 1979 Bonbon Catalina. She's sure looking fine now. It's my baby Cadillac. Aw, baby. Coconut colada, cherry, chariot, baby blue. Aw, baby. shiny little, velvet little, smelly machine. Yo. I got my windows down on a hot summer day, 'cause the AC don't work no way. The sweaty Crashville all seed starts to smell, it gets the tussy working overtime. On my backseat you'll find the shiny ground that smell like lilacs. My carpet shiny too, 'cause I've been washing it with Armor Roll. Daw, baby, coconut, colada, cherry, baby. Daw, baby. Microscopic wheels rolling over speed bumps ain't too smooth. Daw, baby. Brush my lower interior, be fancy to me, baby. Daw, baby.
All right, Cup 82 at 560 WQM. I'll tell you, this thing we're doing with this poll on the website, this is great. It's given me a whole new insight as to what it's all about. Of course, I've always told you about the ass sucking that goes on, but Eric faxes me the newest results, which all of a sudden, after I chewed them out a half an hour ago, the result is doubled from 60 to 120. But he points out the votes were even until 11 o'clock when you gave your opinion. Afterward, the no votes took the lead. And didn't I tell you the one on the Roadrunner thing there was like even Steven, like maybe a point apart. But now, because, see, I don't understand that. We don't, they're anonymous. What's the point of sucking around on the website? To make me feel better, is that it?
Uh-huh.
Just like last week. And over the weekend, there were more fags in the audience over the, until all these other people came on. But while I was on the air, like 14% of them were like limp wrists. And then over the weekend, all of a sudden, it was going down. And the tally, too. Yeah, everybody was going down. Right?
Uh-huh.
We got 120 votes. Do you agree with the not guilty verdict of the New York City cops? 46 say,
yes,
which is 38.3%, and 74 say
no,
61.5%. And, of course, this can't possibly be a black and white thing on our website because are black people allowed on the Internet?
No.
Not yet, I don't think. Huh? Al Gore's working on that. But I don't think, what? What are you laughing about? Black people aren't allowed to vote on these polls, are they?
No.
No way, Jose. Here's a mobile in Boynton Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Just want to make a comment on what you've been talking about. You know, this was a human being. It doesn't matter if he's white, black, purple, green. Doesn't
Right.
matter. They shot at this guy 41 times.
Right.
By the time the third bullet went off, it already severed his spine.
Uh-huh.
Two guys empty 16 shots at the guy. One does 5 shots. The other takes 4 shots.
Right.
I mean, does to any rational person in this world can justify, even if their lives were in danger, to shoot 41 times when the guy's already on the floor and paralyzed and can't move?
Yeah.
What's their explanation? What would be their defense to saying,
Well,
we emptied another 30 bullets into him?
The one defense was this guy that called earlier in the show. I don't know if you heard it, was talking about the kind of bullets, these 9mm bullets that they're shooting. And he's saying that, they're not, like the hollow points that like blow a hole when they go in. He says that you can shoot somebody 3-4 times with these and they're still standing. Well, this guy wasn't still standing, see, but don't confuse that guy with the facts. Most of the shots hit him as he was on the way down, already down.
Exactly. I mean, it gets to the point. I mean, this is such an outrage how anybody could even, I mean, I know it's hard to be a cop and I know it's tough and their lives are on the line. But to anybody in their right mind can justify their actions, it's hard to believe, and it has no bearing what color the guy was. It's a matter of fact that they just went way too far. They killed an innocent man. The guy never had a chance. He was already half dead before he hit the ground.
And keep in mind, these guys weren't in uniform. These were plainclothes guys. So if he was acting a little bit peculiar, I think you can understand that.
I mean, the guy's just going into his apartment house. He's just walking down the street. His English wasn't that good.
Right.
He was only in the country a little while. It's just ridiculous for any rational person to even justify any kind of act like
I agree with you. I'm in shock that when I looked at that poll last night on the Roadrunner on the Internet, and I saw that it was even, and the people who agreed were even a little bit ahead, I couldn't believe it. And then I'm hearing this morning all these people making excuses as to how this was acceptable.
It's just an outrage. My wife happens to work in law enforcement with DEA and the FBI, and she's just in shock that it's just mind-boggling how they could destroy a man's life, kill this guy. He didn't do a thing wrong. There's no accountability. They went like the wild, wild west, just kept shooting bullet holes through people's ceilings. They could have killed another innocent bystander. They didn't care. They don't care. Nobody cares. It's just one life. Who cares? The guy was probably going to do something anyway. I mean, it's a joke. It's a travesty. It's a joke.
Well, he came here to find
They belong in prison.
He came here to find the American dream, and he found it, man.
Let me tell you something. They should be indicted and sent to prison for murder because that's what they did. They murdered this guy.
Okay.
See ya.
Thanks. Amen. There you go. There's a guy who articulated very well the way I feel about it, so I won't bother repeating because I'm eating a nice lunch here. Thanks a lot, Brad. Tony's Pizza at 19329 Northwest 2nd Avenue, right up down the street here. I just can't get over it. And race does play a part. There's no question about it. All you have to do is listen to these first 2.5 hours of the show and you find out that race plays a part. And why the hell should it? The problem being that human life in America is meaningless. It's like open up your water faucet and every drop of water that comes out, there goes another one. We don't care. Don't care. But God forbid if somebody out there is smoking a goddamn number or has a pin joint in their goddamn ashtray, straight to jail. And, of course, this is in the same state, by the way, that they have all those great Rockefeller drug laws in there, that they send people away for 20 and 30 years mandatory minimum sentence. Same state that thinks it's okay for cops to go over and blow your brains out because they think you might look suspicious or might have a faint resemblance to somebody that they're looking for. Here's Medley. Hello. Medley.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
My name is Ted. You don't know me. I'm an old man, but I had a lot of experience with dogs' infected ears.
Yeah.
And my doctor is located right across the street from the racetrack, Hialeah Racetrack.
No, I don't go anywhere near there.
Oh, no, that's it.
I wouldn't dream of going there.
And I'm telling you, this doctor has improved my dog's health ear. And all the dogs I had German Shepherds, I had Collies, I had different dogs.
Cockapoo?
Yeah, no, right now I have a poodle.
Yeah.
And he did a wonderful job on him in very quick order. But yeah, if you want to know his name, it's Whaley Animal Clinic on Palm Avenue and 32nd. That's right across from the Hialeah Racetrack. And his name is Dr. Swearingen. First, you got to understand that
Dr. Swearingen?
Swearingen.
Swearingen?
Yes. And what you have to do is you have to understand they have to have the dog to take a culture. He puts a swab in the ear, takes it in, and then he has it analyzed, and he knows if it's a staph infection or if it's yeast.
Yeah.
And they can give you a treatment real quick.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Fine.
Thanks, Ted. Am I going there?
No.
No. Although we do have one of those here at QAM and say staph infection. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. I think it started with
Roy. Need Neil? Your daily dose is right here.
Isn't it tacky to eat and then go get your teeth cleaned?
Just swish real good before you leave.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Get the Hoover out the moon, man.
Thank you for attending today's conference on how to deal with the Y2K problem. I would like to announce the development of a new software system, which will be year 2000 compliant. This program is known as Millennia Year Application Software System, or MyAss. Next Monday, there will be a meeting in which I will show MyAss to everyone. We will hold demonstrations throughout the month so that all employees will have an opportunity to get a good look at MyAss. We have not addressed networking aspects yet, so currently only one person at a time can use MyAss. This restriction will be removed after MyAss expands. Last week, my secretary said to me, "I'm a little nervous. I never put anything in MyAss before." I helped her through the first time, and afterwards she admitted that it was relatively painless, and she was actually looking forward to doing it again, and was even ready to kiss MyAss. As you begin using the program, feel free to put anything you want in MyAss. As MyAss grows larger, we envision a time when it will be commonplace for a supervisor to hand work to an employee and say, "Here, stick this in MyAss." It will be a great day when we need data quickly, and our employees can respond, "Here it is. I just pulled it out of MyAss."
You can kiss my rear end.
El Paso, 1245 at 560 WQM. We got Hank and Chulos at 2. We got Geldy on game night at 6. Sabres and the Panthers. How come those tickets aren't going so good? Those Panther tickets for tonight? Buffalo Sabres, Dominic Hasek, huh? Michael Pecker, all those Goyim from Buffalo. 5670560. What's the number on the out-of-town line? 877-785-6345. Stewie Barnes. Don't forget Stewie. That would be a good thing. Like, what's Stu Barnes' number on the Sabres giveaway of pair of tickets, number 41? Here's Miami. Hello. Miami.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
I just thought you might like to know, being that you're talking about cops, what our friends at BSO were doing this weekend.
BS.
Oh!
Yeah?
Yeah. Instead of being out in the worst, the high crime areas of Broward.
Right.
They were out
all the darkies are, right?
They were out in Weston, of all places, one
Well,
of the most safest and boring towns.
where all the drug peddling is going on in Weston. It is.
Well, get this.
Coral Springs and Weston.
But that's not what they were doing.
Or what are they doing?
Saturday night at 11 o'clock at night, there's a cop in his car with the radar gun just giving tickets to people going by. Is that ridiculous or what?
11 o'clock on a Saturday night just because people had a few too many? What's that all about?
No, not even. They weren't even testing for alcohol. They were
Right.
just giving tickets. I got one for 6 miles over.
Ticket defense team, man. Don't pay it. Don't you dare pay it.
I need to get a good lawyer.
No, you ticket defense team. George will give you the number, okay?
All right, thanks.
Hang on. Gonna get a lawyer. Get the ticket. Get that guy the number. Whatever. You know what the number is? 1-800-741-TEAM. Whatever that is. 6 miles an hour over the speed limit. There you go. You got a pin joint in your ashtray. You're going 6 miles an hour over the speed limit. Your ass is going straight to jail. And put your hands on your goddamn ass and freeze, or I'm gonna blow your crap away. Okay? Police state. Police state. You can chop it, you can dissect it, you can twist it, you can yank it, you can hock a China about from now until the end of time. The fact is, America is a police state. How could we have more people behind bars than any other country in the world except China? China. They're the only one. And also, by the way, it's the only country in the world that has capital punishment left in the Western world. And, of course, China, by the way, is the only one that executes more than we do. China. As John McCain would say, those crazy gooks. How do you like that? We want to be free, just like China, right? Yeah. Oh, I know. Let me start the thing with capital punishment, and I waffle on that thing. I should be eating at the Waffle House every time the subject comes up because it's very tough with me because there are all these scumbags. But how can you make an argument for it? And only 3 states, by the way, are still using the electric chair. Nebraska, Arkansas, I think is one of them. And what's the other one? I don't know. And you'll notice Florida we just finally got rid of it here. A little bit late, but better than
Now
late
they have
than
the
never.
option.
What is it?
You get to pick.
You get to pick whether you want to sit in like a recliner or a regular sofa, or you get the needle. That's pretty damn white of him, that Governor Jebster. Don't come no whiter than Jebster. By the way, Jeb, I wouldn't be planning on no second term if I were you. You got the Schwarzers all whipped up against you now, baby. And everybody else that thought you were something that you aren't, which, card-carrying fascist, just like his brother. Here's Coconut Creek. Hello.
Coconut Creek?
Yes, sir.
Talking about these police officers and the shooting in New York there, I was just like you, couldn't understand, 41 shots. But do you know what was presented to the jury and what the defense was?
Yeah.
You do?
Well, I'm listening.
Okay. The first 2 officers saw this person in that alcove up there,
right,
in a car, pulled up. The officer on the passenger side gets out, going up the stairs. I imagine he's speaking to him because the second one, the driver is getting out. The first officer falls backwards, slips, I guess, down the stairs. He sees the guy with his hand coming out.
Keep in mind that these are plainclothes officers.
Right,
They're not
right.
in uniform, right? Keep that in mind, yes?
Right. So the first guy
Unmarked
falling
right.
down, the driver is getting out. Now, he had called for backup. So as he's getting out the driver's side, he sees his partner falling down, the man coming out of a pocket with a hand, hollers, gun, and starts shooting.
Mm-hmm.
The second 2 come up in the car. There's already firing going on. They just come out and start shooting.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was presented to the jury. And this is where it went to, and this is where the jury said that, okay, the first guy to fire, he thought his partner had been shot. Now, whether he heard a bang or a silencer or what, all he did is saw the man coming back down the stairs just like he'd been shot. So he hired a gun and started shooting, and the other two guys came up and started shooting because they were already shooting. So this is what was presented to the jury, and this is how they came to the verdict they came to. That I agree with you, 41 shots, 19 hits, but it's a crazy damn scenario, and I don't know what I would have done if I would have been the guy's partner, and if I sat on the jury, I don't know what I'd do. Now it's either the truth or it's one hell of a nice scam.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, we're never going to find out from the victim.
Right, yeah. And as I don't know if there's witnesses around or whatnot.
Yes, lots of them.
But I mean, they had to corroborate some of that. That the other backups came and started firing after the first one. So I don't know, but I was just like you. 41 shots in one guy, and he was not on the street. He was up in an alcove.
Right.
Like a brownstone or whatever they got up there.
Well, he wasn't. Eventually, that's where he went. He was going home.
Yeah, and this guy was going up.
He didn't stop. They kept yelling for him to stop, and they were ununiformed,
right.
And he didn't stop.
Right.
And to be quite honest with you, I don't blame him.
So the one officer is going up the stairs after him, and I don't know, he trips, slips, or whatever the hell he did.
Yeah.
And comes flying back out, and his partner starts shooting. Thinks he got hit. So. That's all I know about it, and I can understand the jury's dilemma there too, and I can understand people, but it's a hell of a shame when somebody just loses his life that something like that, and particularly when they're in plain clothes, and the man is not a national, he's out of the country, doesn't understand probably good English,
right?
And maybe the guy said ID, give me ID, and he's reaching for it,
right? That's correct.
And so if he hadn't fallen, everything probably would have been all right. And when he fell, that's when the other one started banging. So that's all I know about it, and maybe it'll help somebody out there.
Okay, thanks.
Or listening to it.
Thanks.
Right.
So in other words, what he's trying to say is the cop is a little bit unbalanced. Is that what he was saying? 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T line. Out of town, it's 877-785-NEIL. 877-785-6345. Here's North Miami Beach. Hello.
Neil.
Yes.
How you doing, Uncle Neil?
Great.
First of all, 41 shots, 19 hits. That's 50%. They failed their range test.
Right. That's what I said. They had bad aim. That's why they couldn't shoot the wall out of his hand.
That's a fact. Has anybody heard anything, though, about the rapist, the supposed rapist? Was anybody ever found? Have the rapes stopped? What's going on with that? Is anything about that?
Well, of course the rapist wasn't found. I mean, no. Are there any more rapes? Who the hell knows? In a city like New York, there's probably so many. Who knows who's doing it?
Well, that's a fact. I thought it was in a particular area, though. Segregate to one area.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, that's all I got, Neil.
Okay, thanks. Are we concerned about rapists in New York here in South Florida?
No.
No, not really. You understand that? 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T line. Out of town line 877-785-6345. Wait till the news of this story gets over to the West Coast, and then we'll get a lot of calls, maybe in a couple of days, from Fort Myers and Naples about this. Well, the news hasn't got over there yet. They're not allowed to have like CNN, MSNBC, CNBC.
No.
Speaking of CNBC, by the way, let's take a look. Let's see if the arrow is still pointing in the right direction. Oh, not too bad. Look at that. Look at that. Even 10,080 cents, the Dow. Leave it to me to turn on right at this moment. It's up 138 points. Oh, now it's not zooming, 139. It's over 10,000 again. Let's hear it.
Oh!
Will it last long?
No.
Probably not. The NASDAQ is down 73, but you know what they say about those tech investors? They're animals anyway, so let them lose their cash. That's what I say. With their douchebag.com and all of that stuff, enough is enough already. 10,002 and 4 cents on the Dow. Let's just freeze it right there. Like when you're at the track, and your horse is ahead by 3 lengths in the backstretch, and the other 2 horses you have boxed in the triple are second and third, and you say, stop the race right now, please. And then, of course, they come into the stretch, and all 3 of your horses start puking and gasping for oxygen, and you plunge your guts and lose your ass. Same thing now. Just stop it for today. Good psychological blow. Back to that goddamn Alan Greenspan. Here's Hollywood. Hello. Hollywood.
Judging from all your intelligent, informed comments, I might have believed that prior to you being in the radio business that you also worked for some law enforcement agency.
No. Why is that?
Have you ever been put in a situation such as that?
So in other words, if you don't work in law enforcement, you can't have an opinion?
You can have an opinion.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a very educational look at the way.
Very educational?
Yes.
You mean educated?
Something to that.
Oh, something to that effect, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can help you with your grammar.
I doubt it.
I think I could. But anyway, what's the point? Because you disagree, therefore I'm an ass, is that it?
No, I just...
Well, what is the point?
You need to have some experience before you can jump into making some conclusions as you're making.
Sir, I'm going to tell you something. Everybody in America, sir,
man.
everything... Blow it out your ass. Don't raise your voice to me. This is my show, asshole, you old fossil. Oh, he's the guy who was sitting motionless in the chair at the casino on Saturday. He's the one that they put the do not disturb sign next to him. Everybody in America who's heard this story has an opinion on it, whether they're in law enforcement, out of law enforcement, black, white, purple, young or old. And this guy's telling me that before I should have my opinion and start mouthing off on it, I should have some experience. No, thank you. No, thanks. God. Like I said at the beginning of the show, it's a place where even the young people can't have a good time because of old fossils like him. Miguel was telling me that, I don't want to say where it was, okay, one of our fine sponsors. Miguel was telling me that people have actually died there while, like, sitting at the tables. And nobody discovered it for, like, a period of time. Months. 12:56 at 560 QAM.
This is 560 QAM.
Sports Radio 560 WQAM. Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Oh boy, it's the 1 to 2 hour.
Now, in video stores everywhere, from the people who brought you the Frugal Gourmet Cooks with Wine, it's the Frugal Gourmet Cooks with Boys. Yes, the Frugal Gourmet Cooks Italian.
Hey, little man, I've got some lovely sausage for you.
The Frugal Gourmet Cooks Chinese.
Today I'm going to make some young guy.
And of course, the Frugal Gourmet Cooks Greek. Ooh. Yes, it's your warm and fuzzy old friend, the Frugal Gourmet, like you've never seen him before. He may be frugal with his money, but not with his sauce. The Frugal Gourmet Cooks with Boys, only $19.95 at a video store near you. And don't forget, coming next fall, it's the Frugal Gourmet Cooks with Malt Liquor.
It's a minute after 1 at 560 WQM, our big 1 to 2 hour. Bob Kuntz. By the way, Bob, did you ever have a real job?
No.
It's kind of like Jesse Jackson. He never had a real job.
No.
But anyway, he faxes me this. Shalom International. He's president of this, Bob Kuntz. Their motto is
Boy!
But nevertheless, I think he's got a point here. Did you see this thing over the weekend where this Pope, this old, disgusting Pope with a dress? The Catholic Church releases a statement from the Vatican that Pope Pius XII was right to remain silent about the Holocaust because then they saved all those Jewish lives. How many more people would have died if he would have opened up a mouth?
Huh?
Yeah. Well, this is the response to the book about him that revealed what a guy he never met a Nazi he didn't like. And the Concordat, which we already knew about, but most people are too stupid to understand that. But at any rate, Bob Kuntz is leading the protest. Oh, well, in that case. And Bibi Netanyahu is going to be there? Oh, in that case. Sorry.
So it was a secret, apparently, that there were Jews in Europe, and if nobody had said anything about them, nothing would have happened?
That's right. Don't be knocking Pius, baby. He was a snappy dresser last time I saw him. 5670560, pound 560. Man, what a lovely dress. He was under a lot of duress. Here's a lady in Carroll City. Hello.
Yeah, Carroll City.
Yes, ma'am.
Neil, I listened to the mother this morning, and she was on one of the morning shows.
The mother of this Diallo guy that got killed? Yeah.
Correct. And she said her son was left-handed, and they said he had the wallet in the right hand.
Mm-hmm.
And they had 8 of the jurors on the show, and 2 of the blacks said they were afraid they had children, like if they had gone the other way, maybe the officers of their friends would have come after them. They were afraid.
Uh-huh.
And they also said the judge told them to think like an officer, not like a dead man, not like the guy that was shot. And I thought...
Well, they can never move to Florida if they don't think like a dead man.
Right. Well, not that case. And I can understand that the judge told them to put themselves in the officer shoe, not into this guy's shoe.
Uh-huh.
And they said, we did what the judge told us.
That's inappropriate. Why
I know. That's what they said.
That's crap.
They said they did what the judge told them to do, and the prosecutor didn't have a case. And for that gentleman who said they should have subdued him.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing they could have done was shoot him in the leg.
There you go.
You
okay,
know?
sweetheart.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
That's right. We're telling them all the time. This is the way you do it when you got a little problem like this, when you're a little bit nervous.
Shoot them in the leg.
Right. When in doubt, bring them down.
Shoot them in the leg.
Oh. 5670560, pound 5. You see, you can say anything you want. The guy thought his partner was shot because he stumbled and fell backward, because he was a klutz, whatever the thing might have been. But the idea that they needed to fire 41 shots and make 19 hits, and then most of the hits were as the guy was on the way down and also after he was already down, and a bunch of shots in the feet. Just stop and think about that. If you look up the word overkill in the dictionary, you'll see these 4 cops' pictures right next to it. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But don't let me influence your decision. Here's a mobile in Doral. Hello.
Neil, how are you?
Yes, sir. Okay.
First of all, Giuliani's not a Nazi like you were saying.
Yes, he is.
No, I'm sorry. And you shouldn't use that word because you're a Jew yourself, and you should know what a Nazi is and not.
He's a Nazi. He's a fascist.
Well, you're a fascist. You're a racist, too. You hate all kinds of people. You hate sticks. You hate...
Sir, let me say it again.
blacks,
Rudolph
you hate-
Giuliani is a Nazi. That is my opinion.
And you are one of them, too.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say.
Neil,
What's the point?
Neil,
Let's
Neil,
get to the meat of the
you're
matter.
a Canadian Jew.
What?
Why don't you go... You're a Canadian Jew.
Yeah, I'm Canadian. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT. By the way, say hello to Elion for us, okay, while you're at it. Pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Let's take a call from Coral Springs. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Is this Neil?
Sounds like me.
Hey, Neil, this I just got one comment about that shooting up there.
Yes?
I think it's a hunter's mentality, meaning that when you go out hunting, your goal is to shoot. If one hunter shoots, the others are going to shoot.
They are?
Yeah, that's my opinion on that. That's not the main reason I'm calling.
Okay.
You still there?
I'm here.
Have you
I
heard
know it's
anything?
shocking, but I'm still here.
Have you heard anything yet about the on the internet? Where they're going to start charging to go online?
When they're going to start charging
The
to go
telephone
online?
companies are going to charge us to go on the internet, and the post office is going to start charging postage.
Well, let me ask you this. How is the phone company going to charge me to go on the internet when I don't do it over a phone line?
It's going to be voted in the Congress in about 2 weeks.
Yeah. But you don't need the phone company to go online. There's a zillion other, like the Roadrunner I'm getting. Do you have cable?
And also the post office.
Sir, do you have cable? Do you have cable TV?
Yes, I do.
Then just say goodbye to the phone company. Get you the Roadrunner. You get the 500 times faster service, and you don't need to tie up a phone line. Do we need to be on a phone line to get on the internet?
No.
No. And they also have those other, what do they call those little, the small computers, not a laptop, but the little ones where it's strictly for the internet. You know the ones I'm
Yes, I
talking
don't know what
about?
they're called.
Huh?
But yes.
But you've seen them.
Yes.
And you don't need a phone line. And that's the whole sales pitch is they don't tie up a phone line, and it's always on. Just like the Roadrunner. You click on the icon, and it's within 2 seconds, there it is, and it's always there. In fact, you don't even ever have to sign off of it if you don't want to, because you're not using a phone line. But nevertheless, don't confuse this guy with the facts because he wants to pick on the phone company. Do we like the phone company?
No.
The phone company blows, sir. The phone company sucks, and that's just one more example. Just listen to these phone lines. See, there should be a lawsuit. In fact, I think if this goes on another couple of weeks and they don't want to do it, I'll have Norma do it. If these people are too chicken schmidt to sue the phone company, and they're the ones that are paying for it, they're paying for the service, and they're getting like a good swift in the ass. Boy, you talk about great business people. Oops, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. How's that? It's 8 minutes after 1 at 560 WQS.
It's a lie. I am not a Nazi.
Let's do the shake.
All right.
Let's get it, Reno shake.
Yeah.
Wave your hands up and down and shake them all around. Now try to move your legs. The Janet Reno shake. Now shake them to the left, shake them to the right, to the Janet Reno shake with all of your might. Let's do the Janet Reno shake. Shake
All right, 113 at 560 WQM. Here's the important news of the day while you're all worried about some poor guy that got shot 19 times with 41 bullets. Lopez dress meets and beats laws of physics.
All right.
There you go. And here's this picture of Jennifer Lopez from the Grammys last week with her, undress from Donatella Versace, of course. Everybody in this audience, of course, has been here more than a couple of years. Remembers Gianni Versace?
That damn faggot. I can't stand him.
At any rate, it says she went over there to look for some piece of crap to wear. And at the house of Versace, she found a wisp of a dress. The floor-length gown in rainforest green was printed with lush pattern of palm fronds and tropical leaves. The gown with its long gossamer sleeves plunged several inches below the navel and was being held together by a spectacular brooch.
All right.
The dress was open below the jeweled pin and had a teasing tendency to blow back and away from Lopez's muscular legs and big fat ass as she moved. How do you like that?
Rectum.
Yeah. See, this is the whole thing with the FCC, with America in general. It's another part of this constipated society that you live in. You can show boobs on TV. You cannot show nipples. That's the difference. So you can see this. I mean, is there anything left to the imagination here in this dress?
No.
No. Beside the fact that from the neck down, okay, I can relate to it. From the neck up, all I can say is, here comes lunch again, Jennifer. But, so how come that we don't have a lot more shows showing breasts and just doing a little thing on the nipple? Wouldn't most of you guys like to do a little thing on a nipple?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. God, I don't get it. So is that taken care of, by the way?
Soon.
Oh.
I got the number.
Oh, that's good. That's a good start. Fine. And don't take any crap from them. Tell them I want this stuff, and I'm not bringing the dog in, and I don't want to have to go through another psychotic episode, and I don't want Dr. West giving me a big song and dance about how he's got beriberi and leprosy and he'll be dead any day. He's doing just great. All I want is some crap for the ears, okay? They're great people over there, but boy, they are pitchmen. And oh yeah, well, you might want to bring them in again before the end of the week so I can look at them.
No.
No. And maybe this afternoon.
No.
No, just give me the crap. Here's some money. Give me the crap. Have a nice life. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hi, Neil.
How are you?
I just wanted to say, I think one point that everybody is missing is the root problem here, which is this crazy drug war. I think that's what's created this whole
well, what did the drugs have to do with this case? It wasn't a drug thing.
They're saying that they're saying this guy looked like that could be just a cover-up story. But I mean,
no, they said that he looked like a suspected rapist
right.
they were looking for, not a drug dealer.
They had to come up with some reason why they stopped this guy and everything. But I mean, just the whole way that they operate, their whole modus operandi.
Yeah.
Is this undercover, plain clothes.
Yeah.
The whole way they operate, and with the magnitude that they go after people is all fueled by this drug war.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's America, man.
I mean,
and the guy that called before that was agreeing with my opinion. He said his wife worked for the DEA, and I just bit my tongue until it started bleeding because, as you know, the DEA is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, but I mean,
they have to keep this stuff going on, or they're going to be out of business and out of a job.
But that's the way police work is done these days.
Yeah,
is with that ferocity.
Okay, and have a great day.
Bye.
He said they're ferocious, is what he said. You know what he said?
Uh-huh.
Ferocious, baby. Is that taken care of?
Getting taken care of.
What does that mean?
I'm on hold. They're checking to make sure that they have it and blah, blah, blah.
Maybe you should send him a message like in analog. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. This has turned into quite a project today. Just getting a little stuff to put in my poor dog's ears. Just getting like a little 20 or 30 gallon jug of that crap to slop in there. Here's Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I watched part of that trial.
And
Sean Carroll is the one who identified the guy as being looking like the rapist.
The rapist, yeah.
But under cross-examination, he told the jury and the prosecution that he couldn't tell the race of the individual or the sex of the individual.
Couldn't tell the sex of the individual?
Correct. Absolutely correct. He couldn't tell whether it was a black guy or a man or a woman, but yet he could tell that the guy matched the description of the rapist.
Mm-hmm.
So you try and figure that one out.
Wow.
And the witnesses...
Maybe he thought it was Whitney Houston.
Who knows?
Too tall, I guess.
And some of the witnesses said that all 4 cops got out of the car at the same time. That they didn't get out piecemeal. One guy got out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this other guy's story was, where that was coming from.
And
It doesn't jive. I didn't watch it on Court TV, but I've been reading about it, and I never read anything like that.
Well, I watched it on Court TV, and
Right.
the reason that one guy, McMillan, fell backwards is because he was just firing so many times. You know, the kick of the gun knocked him back. And when he got knocked back, that's when the other 2 guys jumped in and took over where McMillan left off.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's just like you said. We're more evidence we're living in a police state, and I fear for my 2 little boys that are going to grow up.
And the thing that's the most terrifying is that there seems to be about half of the public that accepts this, like, oh yeah, they're just doing their job and tough crap, you know.
That's the scary part.
Thanks for the good news.
show.
Have a great day. Here's the good news for you. The Dow is up 175.
Oh!
Shut it down now, okay? Shut it down, or just go buy some more stock. Call your broker right now and buy some stuff. Buy some GE, buy some IBM, buy some AOL, buy some Time Warner, buy some stock, okay? Buy some mutual funds. I hear the Netherlands is going to go through the roof in a couple of months. Buy that what? Right Equifund Netherlands, man. It's making a little bit of a comeback, a little bit. Not too bad. Now, I could tell you the rest of that story. Did I tell you that actually we wound up being ahead on that stock and not behind? Because there was a capital gain just before the end of the year that my man forgot to factor in, and bada beep, bada boop, bada, which was like more than $1 a share, and so it's in the plus column. The only thing that leaves me worried a little bit is if he's supposed to be handling all of my money, how come he forgot about that? You know what I'm saying? Wayne? Oh, that's right, he's okay. It's only money, you know? I got all these people come up to me with their business cards, and we want to, this one's works for this company, Prudential, Beige, and Morgan, Dean, whatever, all these other people. It's only my money. Why worry about it? I mean, it's my bank over there. Somebody's got to help them out. Boca Brian just closed his account with them because they pissed him off. I don't want to piss those people off. They're maybe Matt will come back someday. You think so?
No.
No. 5670560. Pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Plus, Matt, he was starting to lose his hair and everything. He was a good guy, but here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Great.
You can always tell 5 or 6 callers ago when the cops call up, they've all got that clip delivery like Joe Friday. You can tell. Well, you've never been in that situation.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, there's an old saying: if you give a kid a hammer, everything's going to start looking like a nail. And I think, the police, a lot of the
You're going to
cops
start
with their
pounding
guns,
it a lot.
I'm telling you, it's a bloodlust. And, they got those rods hanging off their legs there. And I mean, I had a cop I know.
They got a rod hanging off their legs, yeah.
Yeah, those guns, those phallic symbol guns, they're just itching to use them. And in a case like this is what happens. They got a chance to use it. And believe me, had that guy had a gun, they'd have been high-fiving each other back at the station, and they'd have been heroes of the police station. But unfortunately for the guy that got killed, it was a mistake, and people are willing to just shrug it off.
Oh, and they know this is only the beginning. They dodged a bullet, if you pardon that expression. But this is only the beginning, because you wait till the civil trial and then the federal trial. You mark my words, these guys aren't getting off.
No, I know.
No way.
Eventually, they're going to nail him. But
maybe Rudy Giuliani thinks he's living in a little closed world there in New York, and he can run his little goddamn Nazi empire the way he wants to. But he's going to find out the rest of the world is watching. It's not going to happen.
That's right. But it just, I know.
And let me just say one more thing: is that by supporting the jury's verdict in this, he's just nailed his political fate. That bitch Hillary, as much as I despise her, you watch, she's going to pound his ass into the ground in November.
Yeah, that could be.
That's right.
That could be. Well, I know the cops have to carry guns and they have to protect us, and most of the time they do a good job. But there's that.
Yeah, but let me ask you something: how many times were you ever protected from danger by a radar gun?
Never.
Okay.
Never. That's a whole different story. That's a scam. The old Georgia boys up, running the red lights and all that.
Yeah, the old Florida boys. Okay, have a great day, sir.
You too.
Although I disagree with you, like I said, they're running the red lights. Those are the people we want in jail. Attempted murder, like the one that nearly killed me last week, you crazy son of a bitch, and your purple people eater, whoever you are. You scumbag, you subhuman slime ball. It's one thing to run a light. It's another thing to wait until it changes and then decide to floor it. Lunatics. Oh, and by the way, speaking of cars, I almost forgot the most important, the bad news of the day. Guess who retired, George? Who used to put a smile on my puss any day that she was working? Sylvia. Driving home on Friday, and I drive through there and reach my dollar bill out the window at the Turnpike Toll Plaza by PPS. Oh, and speaking of PPS, new name, by the way, and the Herald steals that from Hank on the front page, the stadium formerly known as Joe Robbie. How do you like that, huh? Not only are they stealing my stuff now, Humper, they're stealing your crap, too. Yeah, because pro players going out of business, so they're going to have a new name. So Wayne can make millions more now. But nevertheless, Sylvia, that used to work that thing, and she says, and I noticed her hair was like dyed brown instead of red, and she looked really lovely, more so than usual. She said, it's my last day today, Neil. Oh, no. She's retiring. Sylvia. That was one of the few bright spots in my life during this 5 hours, whatever it is, every day. 6 hours, too goddamn long. Let's see, 8 in the morning and 2:30, 6.5 hours for people that think I put in a short work day. These 7 or 8 hours a day. She was one of the bright spots. Love you, Sylvia. Have a great life, sweetheart, and congratulations. Can you imagine the bozos that they have to put up with, the people that work in those toll plazas?
Like answering phones for a talk show.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Only she couldn't hang up on him. Here's Jupiter. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. How you doing?
Okay.
I got 3 things to say. I got it written down.
Yeah.
Unlike the rest of these schmucks that call you.
Okay.
Had nothing to say. Number 1.
Yeah.
Neil.
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, let's go. Number 1. Let's do number 1, then we'll do number 2, and then we'll do a tango. Come on.
Okay. Number 1. Number 1.
Yeah.
Tito's Pizza.
What is it?
Tito's Pizza on Belvedere. They import.
We don't know from Palm Beach. We're not going up.
Well, I know,
What's
but
number,
they import.
What's number 2? Come on, let's go.
Right, number 2. Forget it.
Is this Burgess Meredith?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, number 2.
Yeah.
Get out of here. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line.
Hi, this is Todd Simpson, and nobody hits harder than Neil Rogers.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mumbles number 5.
Yeah. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the car, talk about what's up. To the liquor store around the corner. The boys say they want some gin and juice. I really don't wanna. Feel much like I have that sleep. I want to take deep, not talking deep. I'm not gonna, never, and neither. That's my big, just don't see, though. So what I do, I really make you fly up. The big one, it's just like a sport. Empty cars, it's all good. When we talking, please send me something. A little bit of Monica in my life. A little bit of Avatar in my life. A little bit of New York, how I beat. A little bit of New York, Douglasy. A little bit of Tango in that drum. A little bit of Manny on my drum. A little bit of Jessica in my young. A little bit of music, keep on going.
1:30 at 560 WQM. Well, we're under a lot of stress here, evidently. I don't really know what happened over the weekend. You see the water Nazi? She was down there squatting and peeing in the parking lot this morning. 5670560. Maybe she was just
squirt
marking the spot. Here's Hollywood. Hello. Staking out her territory. Hollywood. Hello.
Yes, Neil.
Yes, sir.
My God.
Speaking.
Actually, I was been subjected to court TV there during the past few weeks.
Yeah.
And actually, they came up to a subject with Sean O'Connell or O'Carroll or one of those potato eaters. And
Carol O'Connor?
Exactly. One of those guys.
Yeah. Archie
he
Bunker?
thought there was actually a wallet gun. That was they thought in the,
No,
in the
they
whole
didn't.
trial.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they
Where
did.
did that just come from?
No, I watched it on TV. Court TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
gotta
they thought it
believe
was a
what you
wallet gun? I never heard that. I never read that.
Absolutely. Well, you probably won't read it because those guys keep that in the, in the dark, like mushrooms,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Okay, well, listen, feel better and say hi to Eat It. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT. That's why Norman Lear was revolutionary. It was the first show in the history of TV where they actually said Eat It on the air. Here's North Miami. Hello.
Yeah. Neil.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this guy Amadou Diallo, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
You know, this is
Diavolo?
ridiculous.
Diavolo.
Yeah, Diablo in Spanish means devil.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe he plays for New Jersey. I don't know. We could use some help lately.
And the Panthers too. Listen.
They're beyond help. Yes?
Okay, now, I mean, these cops them gonna claim that he pushed his hand in his pocket and all this and that. Listen,
Maybe he was just feeling the change.
maybe we're feeling something through there. You know, when you put your hand down all the way down, you can feel something.
Right. The
So-
change.
And so they're gonna shoot. Okay, shoot him in once or twice. Let's 3 or 4. Let's say 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to shoot 41 times. You know, that's my big problem I have. Anytime these cops want to shoot somebody, they shoot you 30 or 40 times.
Well, but at least one thing we've learned today is that once they fire the first one, they're not going to stop. Once they decide it's time to shoot, they're going to shoot until you're dead.
I mean, and now they find a new thing. Now they're shooting you in the bottom of your foot.
Right.
That's a new thing.
Right.
So let's
And the best part of it is he was still standing up, if we're supposed to believe them. How do you do that? Those must be those new tracer bullets.
I know.
They go along the sidewalk and bada boom, they go right up your feet.
That's the one that they
right up your
rectum. Yeah, yeah, they shoot Kennedy with that kind of bullet. It went to the bottom and came to the top.
They went through Connolly's neck and back around and back at you, and right through Jackie's purse and right up through his neck again. Yeah, magic bullet. Get Arlen Specter on this. He's right next to New York. They're in Pennsylvania. He'll straighten it out. He'll have another magic bullet for you. Have a great day, pal.
Okay, man.
Arlen Specter. That's his reward for stupidity now. The people of Pennsylvania and their ultimate wisdom. It must have been all the Amish. Did they vote?
No.
Well, they must have had something to do with it. Arlen Specter. He's been here for 5,000 years in the U.S. Senate. He's the one that came up with the magic bullet theory. Oh, yeah. The magic bullet that went through the goddamn president's neck and up through his brain and down his anus and through John Connolly's neck and up his arm and under the goddamn windshield and back on a steering wheel. And then wound up on a goddamn stretcher at Parkland Hospital in Dallas in pristine condition. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
No.
But don't confuse the American public, because if the government tells you it's so, it must be so. Anybody in this world who believes something that their government tells, I don't care if the government says it's Monday, I recheck the calendar. What do Greg Reed and the U.S. government have in common? Besides the obvious.
Yeah.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. In fact, isn't that McCain's big thing that he's running around now? Just like Bush was saying, I'll never raise taxes, and here's McCain running around, I'll never lie to you. Does anybody believe that?
No.
Does he believe it?
No.
No. This great reformer. They went through the whole thing again yesterday, by the way, about his voting record. He makes Strom Thurmond look like a liberal. Is how conservative he is. And also yesterday he got all tongue-tied too on This Week with David Brinkley's eyeball. Yeah, David's not on there anymore. They just took his eyeball out and put it on the table there. And George Will keeps poking it around, you know. Now what is it? Oh, here's my good friend Matt formerly from Family Bank. How you doing, Matt?
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Here's Matt, who's got a full head of hair these days.
Hey, I was just in the car listening to you talk.
Oh, no, and I said, what about your hair falling out?
No, I didn't hear that.
That's my luck. Oh, good.
I didn't hear that.
Repeated it.
I didn't drop off the face of the earth. I did leave Family Bank. I've been gone for a long time
All
now.
things aren't the same since you're gone.
I've heard that here and there.
Boy.
But I just wanted to tell you what I'm doing, give you something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I'm opening Fed First Bank. It'll be in Plantation. It's a new community bank, and
Yeah.
I've been working on that for about eight months
Well,
now.
what day does this start?
It's probably going to be in about 2 months now.
Yeah.
But you know, I was looking to provide a different level of service that, you know, Republic was offering. And the only way I could do it was to start a new bank. So I'm doing that, and I'm hoping that you'll be a customer when we open it.
I'll be your first customer, man.
You're going to be account number 0001. So
One, yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it. I've been listening to your show more often now. I've got a little more flexible days, and I enjoy your show, and I look forward to you being my customer again.
I'll be there with bells on.
Just sit tight, okay?
Where are you going to be in Plantation?
Just north of 595 on University.
Oh, great.
In the old Trans-Florida Plaza.
Outstanding.
It'll be the Fed First Plaza.
You can count on me, my friend.
All right. I look forward to it.
Okay, take care of yourself. Let me know.
Absolutely.
All right.
Bye-bye.
There's my close personal friend, Matt, formerly of Family Bank, who's opening up his new thing. He's just been waiting. I mean, the other bank is very close and very convenient to me. Am I going to stay there?
No.
No, I'm going with Matt. I'm going with my buddy Matt, not just because he happens to be a good-looking guy, although that's part of it, but because he took good care of me. You get personal service. You know what I'm saying, George? Personal service. Like I was saying to Miguel there on Saturday, personal service, and he kept looking the other way. Every time I'd look over, he'd like hide his head behind that wheel. Hey, wheel! Wheel! If you people could have just been there, if you missed the beginning of the show this morning, our experience, which was my last public appearance, by the way, for all time. This is not a joke, that's serious. Not that it makes any difference. Who the hell needs to see me? I'll see you at the hockey games, okay? Okay. I'll see Matt at the bank. But I'm going to tell you that was one I could have written. If I do ever write a book, that'll definitely be a big chapter. Because that was, not that I don't know, but if I had any doubts about what this town was all about, that appearance, that experience there on Saturday was the definitive one. There were people in chairs at some of those tables who have been dead for 20 years. And they were still sitting there with that content look on their puss. The look that says, yeah, do you know where you are? Man, there was toe jam rolling around the aisles. It was unbelievable. Every now and then, it was very quiet, but once in a while you hear the sound of a bag squeezing, something like that. Yeah. And then you hear those creaking sounds, like in Superman 5. You know, I might have to play that. The creaking sounds of that one guy wheeling his way over toward Miguel. Will! Trying to win that QAM hat. Finally, I noticed toward the end there, he just took one and flung it at him, and the cap too. Here you go, Crip. I mean, whatever he said. God, that was...
He was knocking our chairs over, too.
I walked in there at 57 years old. I walked out feeling like 15. That's how young I felt walking out of that crowd. 22 before 2 at 560 WQ.
Coffee, donuts, and the first team. The Breakfast of Champions. Morning 6 to 10. Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Oh, Alonzo, you're so big.
Our secret flows. They know the daddy of our 2 kids is David Crosby. We're 2 lesbians. We couldn't conceive. Here is your cup. Fill it up. You'd never have guessed it. You all thought that it was Brad Pitt. He's up and downer and an alcoholic. We picked David Crosby. Couldn't find Tommy Lee. He is up and downer.
Squirt.
And if we do it again, we'll use opiates and then he is up and downer.
I said something to Miguel Saturday at the casino joint there about being my sperm donor. He hid behind that wheel for like an hour and a half. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Loxahatchee. Hello. Loxahatchee.
Hello. Hi.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay, this phone's screwed up, but that's why I have to repeat these all twice, because there's a longer delay than the one we used to have before. It takes about a half an hour after I punch up the button.
Well, Loxahatchee's the land that time forgot anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
Last week I had the misfortune of going to a meeting and I had to wait. And in the waiting room, they were piping in Dr. Laura. Okay?
Oi!
My God, what a sanctimonious,
obnoxious, man-hating,
holier than
homophobic,
thou.
disgusting, Orthodox
And
Jew
these
bitch,
people,
yeah.
these people are calling up and I got the wrong tulips for my wedding. What should I do? My mother's dating my grandfather. Who do they think she is? I want to know.
Who do they think she is?
Yeah.
I can only tell you who I think she is.
That f***ing bitch.
Yeah, that's who she is.
If there's any justice, Neil, there'll be 2 planes. One Dr. Laura's flying, and the other one is that big-headed Judge Judy.
Yeah.
And they collide.
And they collide, exactly. I think it's a plan.
Thanks, Neil.
Have a great day, pal.
You too.
But you got to understand, there's a lot of man-hating women out there in America, and that's who gravitates toward people like that. Judge Judy especially, and Dr. Laura, that bitch, homophobic right-wing bitch. Isn't it great, by the way, that we have George E.W. now trying to back away from that whole thing, Bob Jones University, and he's writing a letter to Archbishop O'Connor there in New York, who also never met a Nazi he didn't like? Is he fooling anybody?
No.
George E.W.?
No.
Oh, he's very much against interracial dating. I'm against interracial dating. He must have said it 4 times. And he kept getting redder and redder in the puss. Does he have any idea what he means?
No.
No. He's a bubblehead. Just give it to him, okay? He wants to be coronated. He wants to be the dictator, okay? Just give it to him. Here's Hallandale. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I have a few. It's a girl, but
yes, ma'am.
I have a low voice. I have a few things. First of all, the living and breathing people come to the Seminole Casino at night.
Oh, thank
Not
God
there,
for that.
Yes, the other.
So we were there at the wrong time. Boy, I'm
right,
telling you,
exactly.
I have never seen, even in the clubhouse at Pompano where the average age is 122,
Yeah.
I mean, I have never seen, this wasn't a sea of blue hair, this was a sea of white hair.
Yeah. Okay. So.
As in death plus 20.
Yeah, that's the first thing. Second thing is, I only caught part of it about your dog, but my dog has a similar problem.
Oh,
I have something called Otomax. It's
Otomax.
Max.
Otomax doesn't work. See, the problem with it's like when you take antibiotics, a human, and they'll work for a while, and then they stop working because they develop a resistance to it, so they have to try something different. I've been using
that
Otomax.
won't work for mine.
It doesn't work anymore.
Okay, and the last thing I wanted to say was about the cops in New York.
Yeah.
Giuliani reminds me a lot of Rizzo's regime in Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
It was a police state.
Only
with,
worse. Only
Nazi
worse.
connections.
I mean, at least Frank Rizzo never went after the hot dog vendors anyway.
Well, no, as far as I know. No.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, bye.
Oh, he's not a Nazi, that Rudy Giuliani. He's a great, upstanding, law-abiding American. He's a fascist. He's a Nazi. You got it? Don't ever forget it. And, man, you wait and see the backlash against him in November. It's going to be Ochen Vey for Rudy Giuliani. Bye-bye, Rudy. He's the only guy in America that could make Hillary look good. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. I don't know what it is. They're just most people, even if they agree with their politics, whatever the hell they might be this week, but they just don't like that bitch. I mean, Hillary. You know what I'm saying? The Ice Princess. They just aren't too fond of that bitch. But compared to him, see, these are the kind of choices you get in American politics over and over again. Which one do you like the least? Which one do you despise the least? Just like the Knievel family. Which is the lesser of two evils? Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
God, Neil, every time police officers' judgment comes into question, you get all these other cops calling in, defending them blindly, no matter what the facts
Yeah, you
are.
can, like the guy said before, you can spot him a mile away.
These guys emptied their gun clips on this freaking guy.
Right.
He was trying to get home.
Right.
He doesn't.
And he had no idea who they were because, first of all, he knows spaghetti Inglés very much. He's from a banana boat country. And number two, they're plain clothes, unmarked car. He don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah, and Neil, if you or I mess up and kill someone, which that's exactly what these guys did, they royally.
You're gonna
messed
fry,
up.
man. You're gonna fry.
I mean, the least you're going to get is a manslaughter conviction.
Right.
I mean, these guys got slapped in the hand and sent home.
That's what I just can't understand. I mean, nothing. And the judge, even though the judge instructed them poorly as far as looking at it through the eyes of the cops, but nevertheless, at least he gave them the right instructions as far as, you can give them less than second-degree murder, and nothing, zero.
I mean, our tax-paying dollars go to train these guys to be able to make the difference between a black wallet and a .357 Magnum. I mean,
Right.
come on, this entire thing just gives me the Hershey squirts, man.
Exactly.
Thanks a lot, man.
Okay, it's in the bag. As they say at the Seminole Indian Casino during the daytime, thank God she called before that lady, because at nighttime they got living and breathing people out there. They got a lively crowd. If you want to go in the daytime like we did, nice and quiet. I almost felt kind of guilty there, being there and then taking that money on Saturday. Almost. Did I feel? No, I didn't. No, because we had a rather paltry turnout. There weren't like a lot of people there, and it's the way it goes. I mean, who wants to come out and see an old fag like me on a nice Saturday when they can go out and be having a good time, They don't want to come and see me to get those stupid picture cards. Did we have any hook to bring them out there?
No.
Do we know anything about promotion on this radio station?
No.
No. None. Oh, we had some old QAM caps we found laying around somewhere. And what were those other things? Those, forget about the mouse pads, yeah. And what was the other stuff?
Plastic cups.
It gave me a cup Vatic is what it gave me, just being there, which in Yiddish means headache.
Oh, and bumper stickers.
I beg your pardon?
QAM bumper stickers.
What QAM bumper stickers?
Like the one that I converted over here on the window.
Oh, okay. We did have those?
Now, if we had those, like I made it, then, you'd have a run on them.
Oh, I thought you were being serious.
No,
I
we
thought,
had
don't
bumper
you remember when
stickers.
just before Sam got fired, before Sam left, wasn't he working on something like that? And then, of course, all that money.
That was his last
all that
straw.
money. Anyway, it's 1:51 at 560 WQAM.
This is 560 QAM. We got your sports right here. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Please don't say the F word.
Mommy, when will I grow my extra wee-wee? You only have one wee-wee, son. Oh, Mommy, am I deformed? No, you're only supposed to have one. Is Daddy deformed? No. He has two wee-wees. No, son, he only has one, believe me. Mommy knows. Nuh-uh, he has two. Two? Yeah, a little one he pees with, and a great big one he brushes the babysitter's teeth with.
Okay, 1:56 at 560 WQAM. Almost ran out of time before passing this along, which I'm sure most of you saw over the weekend. Another great sports story. Let's hear it.
Oh!
Anthony Mason of the Charlotte Hornets was arrested on assault charges early Saturday after a fight outside a bar in Harlem. Let's hear it for Anthony.
Oh!
He was arraigned on a misdemeanor assault charge, posted a $1,000 bond, and headed for Jersey, where the Hornets lost to the New Jersey Nets. He wasn't in the building at the start of the game, and Dale Ellis took his spot in the starting lineup. The fight broke out about 4:30 a.m. outside Perks Bar, police said. Mason, a former Knicks player, and 4 other men were involved in the fight against 3 others. A lot of athletes and a lot of schwarzes involved in fights in bars. You notice that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. A lot of dark-complected athletes. Thank God Pete Stoyanovich, he was a good white boy. Thank God he never had no drinking problem. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a lady in Hialeah. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
Neil, you know those cops that shot that nigger?
I beg your pardon?
You know those cops that shot that nigger?
That shot that nigger?
Yeah. You know they went 19 for 41. That's almost...
Shot that nigger? She's in Hialeah, by the way, okay, that bitch. And here's a couple for you, sweetheart. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
So would you took my call before hers?
Yeah.
I have a quick question.
So
for you.
far, yes.
Okay. A question and a comment. On your website, you have a diet. Can you have as much water on that as you want?
I haven't got any idea.
Really?
I don't know, because it's a diet. It's something that somebody faxed to me, and I've never been on. It's called the St. Joe Hospital Medical Center, and you'll notice it doesn't say anything about water, but I would assume so. You're sure not eating much of anything else.
Don't substitute, but it's just like a cup of coffee for breakfast.
No, but of course you have water in between. You got to drink a lot of water.
Well, that's all I want to know.
Well, just remember, when in doubt, flush it out.
All right.
Okay, get out of here. That crappy phone. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Yes. Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how you doing? I agree with you when it comes to Giuliani. I'm from New York, now in Florida. And let me tell you, cops are basically, majority of them are nothing but a bunch of hoods with guns and badges.
Hoods with guns and badges, yeah.
You take that gun away from them, they wouldn't know how to be a man. It's really, and it's sad to say, I think it's really going to cause, it may take a war in the streets from people to start, it's time to stop this. It's time to, because it could happen to somebody in your family, and that's the way I think. That's the only reason to stop me from being a cop, because I would turn all of them in. And then my life would be in danger, so I didn't even want to be a cop from that point on.
Mm-hmm.
It's really going to take, I think it's going to take cops dying in the streets. That's just my honest opinion of it. And it's sad to say that, but that's exactly what I feel is going to happen. We can't trust them. It's hard. It's hard to trust them, and there's some good ones out there, but the good cops...
Let's talk to a good one. Here's Dave the cop, who's busy with the St. Louis Cardinal lineup.
No, I'm not concerned with the St. Louis Cardinals, Neil. They need to send that lady back, that bigot from Hialeah, back with the